Hello. Welcome to our first official, non-official, actually it is official, Pathfinder 2e game. The Redwell Chronicles. Yay. Everyone clap. Yay.
Yay!
We're
Yay.
here, we're learning. I'm DMing or GMing, as they say in the Pathfinder world, in a not just a new system, but a new world that my brother and I created. You can see it right there under the welcome adventurer. I mean, it's hard to see because the map is not moving. I don't control the map on the. There it is. Oh my god, it's so big.
You just got to give me
Mm,
a heads up.
Oh no, I'm just gonna be an asshole. Anyway, so we're running this new game. We're gonna be trying this out. Not sure how many sessions we're gonna have, but it's gonna be a nice short little probably 1 to 5 campaign in this setting that I've been working on with my brother. And uh just to let everyone know, any sort of donations this what is it, from January to February or April?
Uh,
Hewitt?
it's through March.
Through March. All the way through March. Any donations go to the Trevor Project, which is to help trans people in need, trans youth in need, especially with help with mental health help. They're a helpline, they're a charity, they're really good, especially in this time with all the bullshit that's been happening. So if you donate, you'll be donating to a very good cause. And with that, yeah. Is there anything else we need to talk about? They're not answering me.
Nope.
They're already dead.
No, not that we can think of.
I could think of a lot of things, but it would be distracting, and Claire will yell at me because I will deserve it, so I'm not going to do that.
Potentially.
Okay. So, with that in mind, we're ready to dive into the Redwell Chronicles. I am going to fuck this name up so hard. Welcome, party adventurers, to Vemondale. Vemondale is a nice little southern area on the continent of Utah. And what you know as denizens of this land is that long ago there was a catastrophic catastrophic event that decimated the land, and it has only in the last 5, 6, 700 years or so. It's not really clear, but y'all had everything just started to build up, and now there's like this thriving culture, especially here in Vemondale, where there's multiple cities. It's a nice, secluded area with a great setup. But our story is going to be in Aylshire. Aylshire, named because obviously they love the drink there. And they love the drink so much that they've made it their entire thing. Now, if you've ever been to a Renaissance fair, you've probably seen a little bit like probably a little bit later than the Renaissance fair. American colonial is how you would describe Redwell. People walking around in frock coats and powdered wigs and makeup and just funny belt buckles
With less syphilis.
with less syphilis. Well, more syphilis, you don't know. Uh,
How many wigs are in the room we are in now? We will know how much syphilis there is.
you will see. Uh, so some of y'all come from Aylshire, some of y'all come from beyond Aylshire, but you have made your way through the world to make your way to the town of Redwell. And here, you found yourself kind of enamored with everything going on because right now, Redwell, a brewing town, damn near a company town, is going through something of a strike. And you see everyone from the Stout Guard to the workers to like just simple petty thieves running around causing havoc. It's really quite the sight. It's really even funnier that their downtown section is still hosting like touristy events. They're still trying to get people in there. The cafe is still going. You see all this going on, and for one reason or another, maybe someone snatched your wallet. Maybe you just got too drunk the night before, but you're kind of low on cash. And as luck would have it, there's a nice flyer just sitting right there. Now, Hewitt, get ready. Just bada boom. Help wanted. Redwell Stout Guard. Offering 5,000 gold or 5,000 crest, as they would call it, for a job. Kind of vague on the details that they kind of vague on the details on the sheet, but you know, hey, 5,000 gold, that's a lot of fucking money. So you make your way to the Stout Guard and you're ushered into the office of contracting, where a receptionist filters you into a little office room where you bump into everyone else. Now, with that in mind, Claire, you're at the top. You're the first person to walk in. Give us a
Oh, no.
description of your character.
Oh, no. Okay. So Sarah walks into the office. She is wearing a kind of like ornately embroidered kind of apron style dress. She's a very pale individual, very thin, relatively small. She's not very tall, with white hair and this beautiful blue and red streaked makeup across her face. Across her forehead, she has a very thin, small, decorative snake circlet, it appears, with the head resting right on her forehead. And many bags and pouches made of reeds and cloth, filled with all sorts of items and trinkets. She's very ornately decorated, but does not appear necessarily like wealthy. It's not like gemstones or things like that. It's more of like little trinkets picked up here and there that's just decorated all over her, and her earrings and her necklaces, that type of thing. And so she just walks in and, you know, provides her name and sits down in the corner,
Well,
and is very.
here's the funny thing: you're the only one in the room right now.
There's no like. I thought there
There's
was
not
a.
even. There's not even like. Well, we're playing this like you're the first person to walk in, but there's no
Is
one
there
at
like
the
a
desk.
receptionist? Oh, there's not even a receptionist?
No, there was a receptionist that got you to the room, but there's no one in the room.
Gotcha. In that case, she's just going to kind of look around and notice no one's there, and just kind of glide her way over to the furthest seat in the room, where she's kind of able to see the door, able to see anybody who comes in, and she sits rather properly in the corner with a like polite smile on her face, with her shoulders back in a very nice, presentable position.
Okay, so Nathan, you're up next. You're the second person to walk in the room.
All right. So I stand a good 4 feet 2 inches tall. I have the big ram's horns coming out of my forehead. I'm like a slightly like sickly green goblin with a tail and feet like you might expect to see on a dragon. You know, he's obviously been corrupted by something. On his hip, he has a roll, like a leather belt tied around books, like you might see in an English, old school English school child. You know, it's got different reference books. He's also smoking a cigar as he walks in, just puffing on it lightly, and he has three more tucked into his pocket right here.
Yeah, on the right side?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You said right here, and I was like, where?
Like, you know what? I just assumed y'all could see me through the camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I don't know why I thought that.
Are we using cameras?
We
Not
can
currently,
do it
no.
if you want, but
I'd
we,
have to,
not
I'd
right
have,
now.
I'd have to put something on other than my sleeveless shirt that says "Thick Boy."
Anyway, speaking of thick boy, Hewitt, you're up.
Shortly afterwards, sheepishly walking in is this, what you notice is a very tall, like about 6.5 foot tall orcish individual. But unlike most orcs, very bluish skin. That even leaves like the nails slightly blue. The hair is black, but there's a blue sheen to it. He was told he had to put his hood down upon entering, but at the very bottom of his hairline are these little chubby looking small curved horns that go back into the hair. These scraggly, well, I shouldn't say scraggly, they're sideburns, but it, like, he tries to keep like them hidden with a little bit of the collar, as walking in has like a just a little bit below the shoulder length like mantle, not really like a cape or a cloak. There's a longbow and a short sword and a dagger on a belt. Just very common leathers. And he just kind of comes in and sits down in a seat that's not next to anybody and is like not making direct eye contact.
It's very hard to find a seat not next to anyone because this is a fairly small room.
Is he big? He's like a big guy.
He is well, he has a +2 to strength, so he's
No, I mean like tall.
yeah, he's like 6'6". He is a big boy and a little bit broad, especially in the shoulders.
Okay, so the last person to walk in, Moose. Go ahead, describe your character.
The door doesn't open as much as it explodes open with a just like it looks like he probably confidently just kicked it open and then walked in. Everything he does is very loud, and what you see is a 4'1" brown rat man. He's got flecks of black throughout his fur. He has a puff of hair right at the top that's very stylized, almost like a pompadour, but it kind of goes straight up. He has the most glorious mustache you have ever seen in your life. One of his teeth looks golden, but it's probably just nastiness. He is covered, all of his fingers are covered in rings. His right ear is kind of a little bit gnarled, but both of his ears are covered in rings. He is wearing a leather like tunic looking thing that's really fancy and that has a like a popped collar that goes all the way up. It's kind of maroonish in color with a kind of yellow spread out throughout it. And on his hip, he has a rapier, and his other hip, he has a mangouche, but it looks kind of like a sai. Like think Raphael from Ninja Turtles. And I would say he probably walks in and says, "Aha!" and he points to the biggest person in the room. You must be Lieutenant Captain Everett Duvro.
No, I am Keggmoth. I holds up the thing he took off the bulletin board. I came for job.
Is there a window or a door, not including the one we came in?
There is a window. It's like one of those really sad windows that's kind of like up that lets light in, but it's really hard to look out of.
But that goes outside. There's not one that would like maybe.
Yeah, it goes
there's
outside.
Is there a door or something that looks like where somebody else might be?
Oh no,
coming
no.
to
This is the
gather
only
us?
door. This is the only door in and out of this room.
Okay. So just lean against the wall, I guess, and kind of like twirl a coin between his fingers. and he'll keep trying to start conversations with people over and over and over.
I'm gonna look at the orc Keggmoth, and I'm gonna speak to him in Orcish and say, "It's good to see someone here like you. He'd be useful for whatever work they have. I was afraid that we'd all be short." I'm gonna say that to him in Orcish, just to
Okay.
make it, because he seems like he's uncomfortable, and I thought that might make him comfortable.
His response in Orcish is, "So this job is to get things off top shelf."
I'm sure there'll be a lot of that.
I do that at my day job. I work at the food library, and I mostly
You can say market in Orcish. I mean,
he still says food library.
Okay. As y'all are talking, you see a large. I'm about get ready, Hewitt. You see a large man with kind of silvery skin, black eyes, and almost just like white hair, but it's not. Doesn't look old. It just looks like almost like it was colored white. Like if you've ever seen someone like with that, like got gray highlights or something like that.
He frosted all the tips.
Yeah, he comes in. He looks a little worse for wear. You notice he has like a frock coat and a uniform on, but it's all disheveled. It's all fucked up. He has a whiskey bottle in one hand. He smells to high heaven, and he's like, okay, sorry about that." Oh shit. He goes and closes the window a little bit and just lights a candle, not a candle, but he lights a lantern on the side. Okay. Sits down. "I'm sorry, just give me a minute." Oh.
I'm gonna offer cigars to everyone in the room, just one by one. It's like, hmm, hmm, hmm.
For free?
Oh, for free, yeah.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure.
I'm taking one.
All right.
Oh
You
yeah.
definitely have one,
Sure.
and he lights it for you with a match.
Oh, thank you.
Everett takes one.
Pleased to meet you. Paz Pancake here.
Red Magnus Rhodes. I'm gonna give one to Everett.
He grabs it, he lights it, and he starts smoking it, and then he reaches for a mug on his desk, takes a swig of it. He's just cringes and just spits it out, throws the cigar in there, throws that. It's like, okay, y'all are here for the job, huh?
Yes.
Can I still accept cigar first?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Definitely.
Sarah's gonna look over and be like, "Oh, this is very nice, thank you," and she'll like take it with both hands and kind of inspect it and kind of unravel the end a little and kind of pull out some of the leaves with like this just again same little pleasant smile. And before you can light it or anything, she'll slip it into her pouch and then she'll pull out a little what looks just like a burlap cloth with a little bead on it with a couple of dried leaves and like a feather adorning it, and she'll just slip that right back into your hand and close your hand and say, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it," and hand that to you.
I'm gonna take it and say thanks, and I'm gonna kind of stash it in one of my pouches.
Okay, y'all are here for the job, huh? You got the
Yes.
flyer?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Thank goodness. I mean, we've been looking for someone for weeks. We found someone, a couple months ago, turned out dead in the lake. Oops. Uh,
I actually
but
came here to sell, and none of your people seem to have any money. So
yeah,
I need that.
that's a big problem right now. They're striking, and there's no actual union here, so no one has any money. Uh, so there's a lot of stealing going on. Real fun business.
Is there any violent crime, or is it just petty theft?
Oh, there's so much violent crime. You should see what you don't want to mess with brewers when, you back them into a corner. Holy shit. Man's lifting like 10 pound, like 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds of grain every day. Probably more. I can't do math. It's okay. But we have a very specific quest, mission, contract, whatever you want to call it. And this is something that we cannot do because we are so damn busy just trying to keep the peace in the town. So we decided to hire out to some contractors, some independent labor. So have y'all heard about all the stuff going on? Do you know what it's connected to?
I assumed it was a labor dispute, but I'd like a good rundown.
I've noticed some unhappiness when I've been walking around through the town, but I don't know of anything in particular.
Well, you see, the main problem that has been going on in the town is there have been multiple highway robberies leading out of the town. And it is suspected that someone is working within the town to disrupt the shipments.
When you say within the town, do you mean within the brewers themselves, or?
Oh, within the brewers themselves. Within the northern fields, there has to be some sort of element. Now, here's the thing that kind of gets people, they kind of get a little afraid when I mention this. Have y'all heard of the barrel breakers?
Have I heard of the barrel breakers?
Let's do some recall knowledge. I get to do that secretly.
Hey,
I'm gonna say Keg's just gonna no.
Would my mercantile lore help that?
It would. So what does that add to you?
My mercantile lore is a +4.
All of y'all have heard of the well, except for our blue boy, have heard of the barrel breakers. You know them roughly as basically they're bandits that steal from brewers within Ayrshire, and then they hawk it on the black market. Mainly as a way to make some extra money or make some quick money. It's like a whole ordeal here. And there's a lot of people that like to buy from the barrel breakers because they want to avoid red tape and political bullshit. But generally, they don't usually just say, "Hey, give me the beer." That it usually gets pretty violent. But yeah, okay. So there have been a few murders of some of the brewers and some of the people, and the barrel breakers have been implicated in this. And essentially, we need you to go in, figure out who is a barrel breaker, where they're hiding, weed them out, so we can quail a little bit of this tension, so we can try to get things back to normal.
I believe that's reasonable.
Now, oh shit, my brain went dead. 1 second. I'm rebooting. Now, it is dangerous, but it's also a lot of fucking money, if you know what I mean. I mean, 5,000 gold between y'all fought for? Like, I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm in. I need the money, so.
I definitely need the money. I am
Yes, I am
hurting.
It couldn't hurt. Could you elaborate a little more on what this danger may be?
Oh, like with the barrel breakers, or with the town itself, or
Just with the contract, it seems to be very
oh
important that
yes,
there
you
is
see, you're
danger.
hunting the barrel breakers. They're a criminal gang.
Sound like maybe not as sure criminal.
Oh, fuck. I wasn't dying. Don't worry about it.
That cigar getting to you?
Anyway, the thing is with the barrel breakers, they're a bit diffuse in the land, so they don't have like a direct chain of command. So if we wipe them out here, it's usually not too big a deal. You're not going to have the barrel breakers coming in to break your barrels, but they will try to kill you. They will try to murder the hell out of you, as they have many of my guards. That's another thing. I'm kind of tired of having my guards murdered by, criminals that are,
I'm gonna hold up a hand and I'm gonna say, so do you want us to murder the criminals?
Please try to keep the murder to a minimum.
Okay, I was just
But
making sure
if
we
you're
had
in a
the
fight-
authority if we needed to.
We'll
You
get
know.
to the authority in a minute. But please, like, if you murder if you have to. Because Lord knows that is too much red tape to have a contractor go out and just murder willy-nilly.
I don't think we'll need to go that far.
Keggmoth slowly raises a hand.
Yes, Blue Man.
So we are to detain, not kill, correct?
Well, you can kill if you want. I mean, if you have to. Like, I mean, if someone's coming after you and they're giving you no choice. But if you can find yourself in a situation where you don't have to kill, apprehension is preferable. But as long as you weed out, their hideouts and shit and just get rid of them. Like bare minimum. Now, I do have a lead that you could possibly look for. It's not a good one, but it will help.
Following bad leads is what I'm best at.
There was an individual, a bird folk by the name of Corvigen, that was working with the barrel breakers up until very recently, and then he went into hiding.
Good name for a bird folk.
I like the name too, but he's kind of an asshole. Anyway, he was spotted somewhere in the Well district, at last I recall. I don't know how much that's going to help. It might not help at all. I'm sorry, y'all. I have not got any sleep, and I'm hungover, and it's just.
Well, you should be sorry because I'm very disappointed.
Good thing I don't care what you think.
Yeah, you should.
I am surprised with all this unrest you've had time to unwind as much, but I'm glad that you're taking time for yourself.
Oh, I'm doing it on the job.
Oh.
Oh,
Cool. So, about that, the lead you had, could we go ahead and get that? Do we get a
Wait.
per diem or anything?
What exactly do we have? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, I know.
I'll wink at Pez.
Wink right back.
Okay, what was the question? The lead? It's Corvigen. Barrel breakers. Northern Fields. Well
I believe
district.
there's a question of a per diem as well.
Oh, y'all want a per diem? Okay, negotiation. Yeah, that's part of the job. Okay. So what are you looking at?
Well, you got to take into account food. We need 3 meals a day, maybe some basic supplies. What do you guys think?
What do we have to exactly finish in order to get this money?
Okay. Let me lay it out bare. That came out wrong.
You could do that too. That's fine.
We'll talk later. He winks at you. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Find the hideouts. Investigate whether or not there's any moles working within. Now, if there's mole people, don't harass them. Don't be like that. But if there's some moles in the working in the bear or in the brewery, apprehend the leader if you can, and maybe apprehend Corbigen. He's wanted on a few charges himself. Also, bonus. You know what? I'll throw in an extra like 100 gold if you can get some of that beer back.
What does Corvigen look like?
Well, he is a bird folk. He's so he explains that Corvigen is like raven-like in appearance, but he has like these big bushy kind of feathery sideburns that come out, and under that he's just like bejeweled and covered in jewels, and he usually wears like a cloak. And
Now, on the topic of a per diem, I do believe what Magnus was saying is fairly reasonable in regards to, food and lodging and things like that for the duration of our engagement here. And I would say, a reasonable man such as yourself, shouldn't we be able to work out a deal of being able to have, food and board free for the duration of this?
you know what? Now that you're saying something, I got something for you.
Oh,
And he reaches into his chest and he's like, da, 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 and he holds up a voucher.
I applaud him.
Da-na-na-na.
This is a voucher from the Stout Guard for one standard room at the Iron Gut Inn and Tavern. And he puts it on the table.
Now that is very much so more what I was thinking, that someone as, wonderful and brilliant as you could do. So now I do have to ask though, there are quite a few of us. Is there any way that maybe we could spring for two? Because as you can see, while most of us may be smaller
you
folk, we
changed your
do need a
name.
little bit more space. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so do you have any other buffs on your
I am
diplomacy?
working on making an impression currently, with the minute of conversation.
Okay, let's see.
And with the read the air, I should have a +1 if I've been able to make that impression or to work on that, make an impression.
Huh.
If you think we've talked for a minute. I don't know if we've talked for a minute or not. I feel like we probably
Yeah,
have.
y'all are still neutral. So, okay, just to explain mechanical terms right now, because Hewitt wants me to explain mechanical terms. You're
It is
neutral with Everett DuVoe in terms of like your general, like, and in Pathfinder, you have like different levels with each NPC as opposed to just kind of like vague. Like in 5e, it's kind of like, he hates you now, I guess, or some shit like that. You're neutral with him. And I'm gonna say this right now. I rolled a secret roll, which you do in this, and this is the one time I'll reveal the roll. You didn't really. You got a 10. So he's like, he sits there. He's like, well, that's the only one I got. I mean, I don't know what else you would need. I mean, it's free room and board, for that one, for that standard. I mean, a standard room at the Iron Gut Inn and Tavern is really nice. I stayed
And
at.
how is this a standing room or is this just like a one night situation?
He picks up the ticket and he looks at it. Oh, it's indefinite as long as you're working with us.
Well, in that case, I do think that sounds like a fairly good deal. I believe the four of us probably can find a way to be comfortable. Don't you agree? And she'll look around to the other three, kind of like smiling and nodding at them.
I'll go ahead. That's fine. It's perfect.
It's fine.
We'll make the big one sleep on the floor. No big deal.
I already do.
I'm gonna elbow him and smile.
But
Try to make it clear it's a joke because I feel like he's very sensitive.
I already sleep on floor. This is not new.
Oh, that. Okay.
Well, for
I'll make sure-
last 2 years, normal, yes.
That is so sad. We're gonna at least get you a pillow. All right, we got you a pillow. I'll get you.
Heard of firm bedding is actually fairly good for your back.
It does help, yes.
Yeah, I sleep on the floor all the time, you know. Anyway, is there anything else y'all need? I need to do work.
No,
I can tell
I
you're
don't
gonna
believe
be
so.
very busy.
Is
So what-
is the bottle's name work?
No, it's with. I see what you did there. You're a funny one.
Don't be a dick.
Now, one last question, Mr. DeVroe, just to be sure. As we go along, if we find out any good information as part of our job here, is there anyone that we need to report back to, or someone to send letters to, or anything about our findings as we go?
Oh yes, you can send your any sort of information you find, and you can mail it here from the Iron Gut Inn and Pub to the Redwell Stout Guard Office of Contracting, and you can my brain, what are you doing? You can put my name on the letter and I will, or my receptionist's name. It might be better to put my receptionist's name, and now that I think about it.
What is their name?
Hold on, let me get my generator out.
We get a peek behind the
Her
curtain.
name was Edna.
While this is happening in Orcish, Keggmoth is going to say, I was not trying to be a dingus. He said that he does that on job, and every other officer I've met does that, so I thought that was part of job.
I'm gonna say back in Orcish. My bad. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm gonna say my bad and wink at you.
Secrets don't
Matt?
make friends.
What
Yeah,
was
we'll
that?
we'll go with Ethel. Her name's Ethel. Yeah. I didn't just make that up.
I love this NPC.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, you can just send it there. You can just come by the Office of Contracting. I might be here. Ethel will be here. We
All
pay
right.
her good money, you know.
I believe that's all we need then.
Good, good. Yes, now I'm very busy now. Y'all have fun. Y'all don't get yourselves killed. Don't kill each other. I know, 5,000 is a lot of money, but if you kill each other before you finish the job, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And he takes a swig and just goes back to whatever he's doing.
I'm gonna just look at everybody and kind of motion to the door with my head and walk out.
Sarah will follow.
Okay, so as y'all head out, you see you are in downtown. You actually you all have control over this marker. This red marker right here. So
Okay.
y'all can go pretty much anywhere in town. And as you God damn it. Who is that? Hewitt? God. It's moving everywhere. It's distracted me. I shouldn't have gave you this power.
Yeah, I was
Time
gonna
it's
say.
actually not me for once.
Yeah, we Well, so where do you want to go?
So as y'all walk out, it is a nice, beautiful day. Despite like all the stuff that you can actually kind of hear happening, because what you don't see on this top-down view is like there's the flat lake, which is at the bottom of the town, and the town is built on kind of a upward slope. So you can kind of see the tenements and everything to your back, but you can also see like where the lake is.
So would we be familiar enough with the town to know like Dead Row is mostly abandoned places? Would we know that?
I mean, y'all are all new to the town, but y'all would have somewhat of an idea of everything in the town.
Sarah's gonna look at the voucher that we got and see if it gives information on where that inn is.
That would have been important to ask.
Well,
I mean, worst case scenario, we can ask someone on the street, but
It does not give a precise location, but it does say at the bottom, courtesy of Garrett Brewery.
and what was the name of the inn again? I forgot to write that down.
The Iron Gut Pub and Tavern,
Alright.
or pub and pub tavern inn.
she asked, where it is, and would any of us have, since we've been in town for a little bit, DM, do any of us have any idea where it is, like just normally?
Okay. Pez,
Yes.
you've been sleuthing around the town on personal business, and the Iron Gut pub is the one that is close to the Garrett Brewery.
It's right over here by the brewery. Follow
Okay.
me.
I'm gonna just point it out for you.
Okay.
Is that the one by the lake? Is that extra waypoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way I'm doing this is that there's waypoints for every place you can discover. And I also get to do this if I can open things quick enough. I can't open things quick enough. Where did I put the Iron Gut Inn and Tavern? Oh, God. Show to everyone. Bada boom.
Burb?
Our fancy boy.
Neat.
Okay, so are y'all heading to the Iron Gut pub?
I love this bird.
Yes.
I love Toucan Satan.
That's his name.
Toucan Satan.
Okay. So as you're heading through town, this way, I'm assuming y'all are going this way. Are y'all going north up to Dead Row, or
Whatever the shortest way is, I guess.
I feel like walking downhill towards the lake probably would have been the most intuitive for Sarah, so that probably would have been the way she headed. So
Okay.
do west.
Okay, so y'all do west, and you're going down, and this is the part of town that is a lot less. It's a lot less rowdy. You see a lot more well-to-do people walking around. A lot more of the fancy powdered wig types walking around. All sorts of exiled folk, which are in this world would be like humans, dwarves, and halflings. Just walking around, all done up. You see a few bird folk walking around, hawking wares and everything. You smell the smell of like fish coming out as you get closer to the fish market,
Delicious.
and you see a very popping off cafe. As you turn the corner to head up to the pub.
Aha, yes.
By
This is a beautiful,
popping
wonderful
off.
place.
Okay, it's like it is overfilled. Like there are like a bunch of folks at the cafe that are just trying to get in, and you see like a very tired looking tiefling that is like breathing, trying to get everyone like situated in spots so they can have a go in the cafe. It's fairly early. It's about 8 or 9 or 10 around that time.
That seems like a nice place that we may need to stop at sometime, or probably get a reservation for.
It smells nice.
It does.
Nah, you don't need a reservation. You can just walk in. At least I can.
I mean, you maybe, but
Wait, you can just walk
We'll,
in?
we'll be sure to go with you.
Just have to be just make them think you had a reservation. That's it.
Usually if I show up to a place like that, they they mistake me for a back worker, and then I get paid at the end of the day because I move stuff for them.
We'll dress you up and get you some cologne. Don't worry, you'll fit.
Do I smell?
No, I could probably make you a nice suit jacket though. You'd look very sharp.
Get real close to him and smell him.
Just this little rat being like,
You smell a mixture of different types of woods, like cedar and a couple other things.
Smell like a cabinet maker.
Oh no, I'm not that skilled. I work part-time moving lumber at the lumber yard. They pay me to move the fresh sawn logs.
I said.
anyway, as y'all are walking and talking, you make your way to the Iron Gut Pub and Tavern. Now, when you look into the tavern, it's one of those places that have you ever been to a restaurant that is really trying to look rustic and like
Yes.
part of the area, but it just feels very fake?
Oh god, they've used brown and orange paint to make like rivets look rusted.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It looks it looks rustic, quote unquote, but it looks like it was painted on. So it's not actually like it's very fabricated as you walk in. And you see a few people sitting there enjoying themselves, mostly, again, more the well-to-do, wealthier people that probably either came in from out of town or they live in the wealthier side of town. Yeah, you do see hand tools on the wall. You see like a picture of like Gwendolyn Garrett and Henry Bragg on the wall somewhere, or like a portrait. And as y'all walk in, you see this large bird folk with like just splendid feathers and just these horns and in a nice suit. And he's like, "Oh, welcome to the Iron Gut Pub. How may I help you today?"
The table for 4.
"Oh, certainly, certainly. Just come over here. Just come over." And he just walks you to a booth and just sits you down. Now, are you just here for drinks, or did you need a room, or?
Yes, actually, we do have this voucher that we received, and I wanted to see about possibly getting some accommodations.
Okay, whoop, sorry. Ooh,
Oh no. Oh no.
ah! Oh, you have this voucher. This is very nice. So it's only one standard room?
I was a little afraid of that, so I wanted to see what exactly comes with the one standard room.
Well, the
Sure, it's
standard
2.
room.
They told us 2 and they gave it to us. And so it's probably 2 rooms.
Lower.
That is actually what we requested, and then this is what we were given. So, we're here on the behalf of the contract out by the guard, and we were looking for a place to stay, and this is where they said that we should look for our lodging.
Okay, do you have any extra bonuses, Pez?
To what?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. I have a 6, plus 6.
Because this is no wait, this would be a deception, so
It's also a plus 6.
so you're just straight up lying.
Yes.
So yeah,
And she aid him with that by trying to back him up by saying, yes, we asked for 2.
I'm not sure if there's an aid thing in that sense, but I will just allow it. He'll get a +1 because there's no advantage in the system. And okay, he looks at the ticket and he looks at y'all. And it's like, well, if you're if you got this and you're working for the guard, I'm sure they made a mistake. You see, our standard room is only a 2-person room, but if you want, I can get y'all a deluxe suite, which is a 4-person room.
That's probably what they meant. Yeah.
Certainly, certainly. Sometimes, I mean, they've been so busy recently. Anyway, would you like something to eat? Maybe a drink? The G&B Golden just came here and it's nice and fresh.
Do you have a menu?
Okay, so he hands you a menu, and it's like it's a lot of breakfast items, and it's a lot of like overpriced meats. So the roast beast is 5 gold. The special is 1 gold. Steak and egg 1 gold. The fish plate is 5 gold. There is a meat platter for 10 gold. Also, the drinks are the G&B Golden Ale is 5 silver pieces. The hopped lager is 15 silver pieces because, you know, pale ales is criminally overpriced. The G&B aged black ale is 2 gold. And then they have a barley wine for 5 gold.
Is there any of this that qualifies under the board for the room and board by chance?
You know what? That is true. How about a round of golden ale for everybody?
Hey, I like the sound of that.
And 1, and he holds up his finger and does a 1, just like holds up his index finger. Thing of eggs and bacon.
And maybe some bread?
We can do bread. Yeah, we have enough bread around here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
And he goes off. He takes the menus and just wanders off.
That won't be so bad.
A little more negotiating than I was expecting, but I think we at least have what we need now.
I think when he comes back, I'll tip him, and might maybe get some more accoutrement.
Wait, are you gonna try to like bribe him or?
No, just I'm gonna give him a piece of. When he gets back, I'll show you, and then he can decide what he does from there. I'm just
Okay.
hoping. I'm hoping that it'll lead to extra stuff throughout the night or a couple days that we're here.
Is it like Oblivion where you can just bribe them to increase their disposition over and over again?
Yeah,
Oh, bang, bang, bang.
or like in a Divinity where you just give them something
Yeah.
so they give you better deals later.
Now, unless well, no, you didn't do anything to explicitly make him more friendly to you. You just kind of lied to him. So yeah, so that doesn't affect. But he comes back, he puts down the beers, and he puts down a key to the room.
He's green and wearing red, just like the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a
Oh.
fancy boy.
Sir, my goodness, does he have any jewelry on him?
Oh yeah, he's bejeweled.
Does he have any that have a red gem and like a ring or anything?
Let's see. You see a couple of rings that have like red gems in them.
So he seems to like red gems.
You can surmise that he might like red just in general.
Oh my goodness, sir. Just for your hospitality, I just want to could you give me a second, please? Reach in his
Yes.
bag and you hear like a bunch of jingling and jangling. And he pulls out a ring that it looks exceptionally gaudy and fancy, and it has a red gem in the middle. I just would like to gift this to you.
Oh my! He failed to recognize this ring as fake.
Okay.
He looks at it and says, "Oh, that is you don't have to do this."
I noticed that
Like,
you love all these other red stoned. That is a ruby there and some white gold and all that, and it's very very very.
I do love
It's,
I do love this hue. Yes.
I think it suits you exceptionally well. Put it on. Let me see,
Oh, it's so beautiful.
guys. Look
Looks
how
so nice. It
doesn't
goes with my green so well.
doesn't it make him look so beautiful?
It is very pretty.
It is gorgeous.
It
It
is a
suits
great
you.
contrast.
You know what? You know what? I'm warming up to you. I'm warming up to Ollie. You know, I have a present for y'all.
Oh,
And he walks off. He goes behind the bar and he picks out a jug. And he gets a couple of glasses. He's put down. He's like, "Enjoy, but not too quickly now." And then he walks off.
What is this?
It seems very fancy.
It says G&B's finest aged barley wine.
Ooh.
I'm gonna drink some of it.
yeah, same. Just
Okay,
I'll take a
okay.
sip.
What if Sarah smells it? What does it smell like?
Strong.
She will pour a small glass, but then take out one of her little vials that she has and pour some of it into the vial and cap it back off.
Okay, Pez, I'm looking up your constitution save.
It's probably not great.
Well, you did okay. Magnus, as soon as you take a swig, it burns going down. Strong, strong barley flavor. Slightly sweet, very carbonated. And as you put down the glass, you're like, "Oh no. Oh boy." And you gain, congratulations, Nate. The first condition of the game. You are now clumsy one.
Yay! Milestones.
Yay.
It's like real life.
Just all right, how are we sitting at the table?
Well, it's like a booth, so
Okay.
whoever's on which side.
Okay, question. Did y'all force Keggmoth to go inside instead of sitting on the edge?
I don't know about
Yes.
forcing. Okay,
I
yes,
forced
we did.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Keggmoth is just going to look over at the goblin who forced him into the corner of the booth. Are you okay?
I'm good. Here,
Or-
try this.
I will stick to this one. That one seems dangerous because you already seem bum over bosom.
I'm gonna call you whatever orcs call someone who is afraid to drink in a big wimp.
Like a milk drinker or something.
I actually like milk. Milk is actually very, very tasty, especially from goats.
Your name is Keggmoth. You had said, right?
Yes, sir. Keggmoth
And-
Larryson.
And then your name, and I point to Sarah.
Yes, my name is Cyrillus Maritas, but you can call me Sarah. I'm
Say
also
the-
known as the Weaver by Water.
Say the first one. Well, that is a lot of names and words that you said. What would you
I'm also known
prefer
as
me?
but none of you can pronounce that, so I don't give that name out. But yes,
So,
What would you?
Try to say it.
Miss
I try.
Sarah.
Is Sarah what you prefer?
yes, Sarah's just fine.
Okay, okay. And well, I am Pez Pancake.
Very nice to meet you, Pez.
After the breakfast food,
I miss, and because I didn't hear you. And Goblin, he will say, "Can you repeat that?"
I'll say back in Goblin, like the breakfast food.
Yes, sort of.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
It's
And
my family
I-
name.
Mr. Pez, did your family invent the breakfast food?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Keggmoth looks around, like to see if anyone else is picking up on, is this a lie or not? And if he doesn't see anything, he's just going to
He
be
seems
amazed.
very truthful.
Keggmoth seems mildly amazed. Like the faces, he kind of mumbles under his breath, that shaped a large bit of my childhood.
As you're saying that, Greekin, which is the name of the bartender, he comes back and he's like, here you go, just follow that whenever you get it, or whenever you're finished with your food. Hope you enjoy everything, and your room's just up there on the right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the spread is pretty nice. You're very glad you're not paying for it, because you're looking at the price and then you're looking at the food. It's like, it's good, but not that good, you know.
We're eating. Oh my god, we're eating at IHOP.
Like, you're still happy to eat it, but would not pay the prices listed for it. But it's still good to
It's
eat.
like,
We are eating at IHOP.
You know, free bacon is always good. Yeah,
I'll take this.
Keg will take. What type of bread did they give us, DM?
it looks like rolls, like almost like a biscuity type roll.
Keg will take one and use a dagger to cut it in half, and then put eggs and bacon on it to make a little sandwich.
DM, quick question. With healer's tools, would I viably have maybe 2 or 3 like more empty vials with healer's tools that I could fill up with the stuff?
I would say that, like, when it comes to like tools like that, if you have like specialty or artisan tools, you just generally have. Now, again, internet, don't get mad at me if I'm doing 2E wrong. We can fix it on the way, but I'll say generally, if you have any sort of artisans or specialty tools like that requires stuff like that, you'll have it.
Okay. She's going to take just like 2 or 3 more vials then of the very, very strong liquor, because it could come in handy if anybody needs a quick astringent or like a wound cleansing or something. So she's just, because she doesn't want to drink it. It doesn't seem appetizing, so she'll just fill up a couple more.
And for those that drink the golden ale is actually really good. It's smooth, it's light, it has a nice like caramelly.
Is it crisp?
It's very crisp. It's like y'all been walking around a lot all day, and having that nice cool golden ale is like perfect.
Chris is making me ready for the chicken thing next week with Brouhaha now, talking about a good beer.
Yeah, I can't drink because I'm trying, like, I'm on a fast from drinking right now, and it sucks. So I'm gonna be like sitting there drinking Coke Zero.
Oh,
Don't do that to yourself. Just drink water. It's better for you.
Or Diet Coke, which tastes better.
That's fair.
no. Coke Zero.
I
Anyway.
Coke Zero and Diet Coke both no. Just drink water.
Yeah, Sarah's just going to basically be devouring the eggs.
Okay,
I'm hungry.
I'm reading y'all's DMs right now. My bad. Okay, cool. Oh, you handed. Okay, I see what you did. Okay. So yeah, y'all, eat your meals and finish up. What would y'all like to be doing at this point? I kind of like keep it open for the players to kind of find their own way in the story. So
Do we
Are
have
you? I
Sorry.
look at Sarah and say, "Are you from that swampy spider town?"
Oh, yes, actually, I am. Have you been there?
So, I've done work there before.
Oh, wow. We don't get many visitors. That's actually amazing. I do remember a rat folk coming through. We've only had maybe 3 or 4 in the past few years, so one of them must have been you.
Maybe so.
DM, do we have a name for whatever that town would have been called?
I don't think we came
up with one, so I was just curious if you
but
had
it
one.
is in the Moving Marshes, which is the best name I've ever came up with.
We could just do
that is
placeholder name
dope.
for now.
Spooky, swampy spider town.
Yeah. Spooky, swampy spider town.
Yeah. And I will let you know, Claire, you can be as upfront as you want. Like, I think we said that your tribe is a bit secretive with the spider thing, but you can be as upfront as you want with them.
I don't think she thinks that it would be a problem. It's just not something she puts out there as like a thing, but like it's not like a hidden thing at the same time. So
Okay, so it's a thing that people like because we were still brainstorming
yeah.
on that, so it could
Because
be
also,
either
if
or.
anybody knows that Anati
Oh,
exists,
that's
she
true. I
looks
don't.
like she would be one. To be
Okay, so
fair.
I forgot that you're literally not a spider. Well,
Correct, but like she has like some of the like embroidery is kind of that gossamer like spider webby look. Like she's got very kind of pointed features and stuff, and she wears the makeup that's the color that her tribe represents. So like if you've been to that city, you would recognize like kind of the garb and the outfit and stuff that she has on. So
And they're a nomadic tribe within the moving marshes.
yes. Also, while we're eating, she's going to pinch off a piece of the egg and kind of pop it in her mouth for a second and spit it back out to kind of get the salt and pepper and whatever seasonings off of it. And you'll see her hold it out in front of her, and the circlet on her head comes undone, and it moves down, and the snake eats the egg out of her hand.
like a snake in your hand.
Like it was a circlet, or it appeared to be a circlet around her head with a little snake head resting on her forehead, and when she holds her hand out with the egg in it, the circlet uncoils and comes down and starts to eat the egg out of her hand.
Oh, look at that.
That is really cool.
So your hat has to eat?
She pets it and kind of laughs a little bit and looks at Magnus. No, this is Ribbon. This is Ribbon. He's my baby.
Ribbon.
Too cute.
That is a pretty name.
Thank you. And as you say, Ribbon, Pez, the snake will actually look over at you for a second and then go back to eating.
Okay. It's a real pet, huh?
Yes, he's a real snake. He's an egg eater. You don't have to worry. He's non-venomous or anything. He won't hurt anybody. He likes to stay up here or around my neck, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
The rat folk is scared of snake.
He's not scared.
mean-
He's not scared. He's concerned.
He has a valid concern and interest at the moment.
She's from the marshes and she has a snake. There's
Still
big
even-
snakes in that marsh.
So
And don't worry, he's full grown.
So here's the deal. She's just Cajun. That's all that is right there. She's from the swamp with the snake. That's Cajun. There's nothing to be worried about.
Yes. And if y'all look at Ribbon, he is very thin. Like his head's probably only about the size of like a normal person's thumb, basically. But it does look like as he kind of extends out, he's very long. Like you notice, like you don't see his tail at all, even though he's like stretched out a good like 8 inches from her forehead. So he is a very long snake, but he's very thin and tiny.
So he's kind of like has like a salamander head.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So on that note, finishing up eating, what would y'all like to do?
Do we actually have a key to the room, DM?
Yeah, he put it down when he put it down the beers.
After we eat, okay, if no one objects, I'd kind of like to see room.
No, I think that's good. I actually have some things I can put down before we go out. So
It's fine with me.
Okay, so y'all make your way up to the room. And for everyone else, aside from Weaves by Water, like it seems like y'all are walking to the room and then suddenly you're just in front of the room as if your vision are like you lost like a couple of minutes of time out of nowhere. Weaves by Water, you're walking with the group as normal, or as you think as normal. And you walk into the room, you maybe take off some stuff to try and figure out what would you like to put in the room, and you hear the door close. No one else is in the room with you anymore.
oh
and
no.
when you're looking outside, you don't see the town of Redwell. you just see whiteness.
Oh my god, this is like taking me back to literally my first ever TTRPG campaign ever. There's something very similar that happened there. Ah!
And as you're looking out the window, you see these long, slender hands on each side, and they're kind of crawling across the glass. And you hear a voice in your head say, "I see you've made friends."
Oh, I recognize the voice.
You recognize it. It's your patron.
Yes, I guess you could say I have. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate it.
I sense great power here. The veil is slipping. My power has grown, but there's something trying to cut through that not even I can stop. Smells off. And you just see these hands. It's almost like if you ever watched the Onceler from the original series, you just see the hands.
Yeah.
And you just see them kind of like animating as he's talking.
Yes, I did sense something was maybe a little bit off, but it sounds like things here are just as expected. I mean, it's civil unrest. That's it. Is there an imbalance maybe?
Oh, it's powerful. Something is shedding the veil here. Underground. Right beneath our feet.
Okay,
And
I
you
have
just
to
hear
ask because
tapping.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And he's just like tapping on the glass.
She's gonna say, okay, I understand, but you have this like flowery language thing that I don't always follow. Are you being literal about the underground? I don't do nuance and poetry very well.
Seek the well in town. It should lead you where you need to go. Anyway, it's good that you're making friends.
She's just gonna sigh and roll her eyes again. I appreciate it.
I'll be around, and you see the hands recede, and the whiteness turns back into Redwell again, and the door opens, and your friends are on the other side of the door.
After he disappears and the window goes back to normal, she'll kind of mumble under her breath as she walks up to it. Oh, I know you'll be around, unfortunately. And she'll turn back to everybody else and clap her hands together with a big smile. I think this is rather lovely. What do you think?
Is it
It's
a really
a
nice
great
room?
view. That's actually a good question, TM. she would say that no matter what, but
it's a pretty nice looking room. It's well made. I would say like maybe a 3-star.
Yeah,
Not
this
too
is
bad.
nicer. This is pretty. I gotta admit, pretty nice.
What does it have as far as like numbers and sizes of beds and things like that? Or rest areas, I guess.
It had like it's a 4-person room. It's 4-person suite, so there's like a bed for 4 people.
Well, hold
One
on,
bed for 4 people?
No,
Okay, so
a bed for each person.
everybody,
No,
we're
it's
about
just
to
a
get
big
very
fucking
comfy.
bed.
There's just
Pedal
one.
pile.
There is just one, like, I don't know what your version of California is, style king bed in here that just stretches wall to wall.
It's an Ayrshire bed. They just get really big, and they smell like booze all the time.
This is terrible. You just described the worst mattress ever that I'm not going to say the name of.
No, there's 4 mattresses there's 4 beds in there for y'all to
There's
sleep
4
Yeah, they're just on the floor.
We went
Knocking
from
a star off every time we're describing it.
first description. We're in like a very nice hotel with one big bed that we all have to do like, okay, who sleeps where? And now it's just 4 mattresses on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hold on, DM.
so-
Are there bunk beds?
No, there's no bunk beds. There's just 4 beds.
Okay, good. Is there like a door that looks like it leads to a wash area?
I mean, there is a wash area in the pub, so yeah, like, but it's not in there itself.
Okay, so our room's not fancy enough to have a private bathroom.
Exactly.
Just the basic like bucket of water for maybe hands and face washing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What is with this small metal bucket that's under the bed?
That is for emergencies in the middle of the night.
It's for poop.
Yeah, or pee.
Why
Do you
don't
do
It's
that?
for incontinence.
Why don't you just get up and go to the outhouse?
Well, not everybody, because this is fancier.
And frankly, I don't know the climate here, but from what I've been told in very, very cold areas, it's actually considered essentially a sin if you open the door in the middle of the night and let the cold air in. So your family would flog you if you did that because you let all of the heat out. So instead, you have to go in the house.
Oh,
Or so I've been told.
Oh,
I sleep in a storage closet at the back of the food library. I can just duck out and come back in. Nobody notices. So
It actually sounds rather comfortable.
The-
Lots of nooks
it-
and crannies.
it is like 5 by 5. So diagonally, I has to sleep.
it's like a bunk bed.
No, it's on floor because there are shelves. There are shelves, and if you stand up too quick, you knock stuff off, and then there's cleaning supplies on your mattress, and then everything smells like lemon. And it's not like good lemon; it's like the fake lemon smell, and it's weird.
Oh yes, I have smelled that before. It is not good.
It
It's
is-
not even that fake dessert lemon because there's also
Mm.
that kind of fake dessert lemon that still smells pretty good. Yeah,
No,
no,
this
I know
this
what you
makes
mean.
this makes the candy that tastes like fake watermelon seem real type
Yes.
fake lemon smell. I mean, to be fair, it's better than the fake orange. The fake orange, I had to buy a new mattress.
Yes.
And by mattress, I mean I had to go stuff another bag full of straw.
Straw can be very comfortable, and it's economical. Good choice.
You find silver linings, don't you?
I love silver lining. Silver is my favorite color.
What is it? Okay. Well, hold on. And I start looking for jewelry.
Oh god.
What other colors do you have on you?
Red, turquoise, and a little bit of orange.
Okay, artist. What colors would, as a person, as a character that would know what I'm looking for, what colors look like they would go with you?
Blues. Blue usually goes with silver.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll look for one that looks like a sapphire. And it's also silver. And show it to you.
Oh,
Now,
that is very pretty.
you think it's very fancy?
It is indeed. It's very pretty.
This is worth 6 gold. I'll sell it to you right now for 3.
Oh, wow.
Just because we're starting to become friends.
I do really appreciate that, but unfortunately, I don't have that much money. I'm sorry. I can give you one of these, and she'll pull out one of the vials that she filled up with the alcohol from downstairs.
Of the wine?
It was the strong alcohol. She had filled up a few vials with that super strong alcohol that was on the table.
Was that
And
not-
I
Yeah,
know-
someone has it. Like, I mean, if you weren't paying attention to that,
I
to what she
brought-
was doing, then you might not know what it is.
were
What
we
is-
not supposed to bring bottle with us since they gave it to us?
What is this?
It's a very
Wait,
good.
You brought the bottle? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. What's the term for the base for a potion? I forgot it. It's not reagent. What's the other term? I need to brush up on my chemistry.
Oh fuck!
Base for
The foundation.
Solvent.
That's
right?
probably
solvent.
It's a very strong solvent that can also be used as an astringent and cleaning agent.
If I smell it, does it smell like the wine that we were drinking?
Yeah, it does.
And I know this to be a very fancy and expensive wine.
Yeah, that is like. I mean, you would have to appraise it, but you could like he pulled it, top shelf and everything. So
How many vials of those do you have?
Well, I do have 3 more, but I actually do need those. I was planning on making a few tinctures with them. It was so if anybody ended up getting injured on our adventures, I would have something to use.
How about 2 vials?
Hmm. I could do that, and she'll take out the second vial.
I'll give you the ring.
You
Wonderful, and she'll take it.
As Keggmoth is sitting there with the beer in his hand.
just the whole bottle. Was I not supposed? Do I need to take this back downstairs?
No, you're good. It was still ours.
Okay, so this is not like a faux pas that I took with us.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
sure
it-
you probably can leave the bottle out for room service to pick up later. That's typically what you do.
Or you
We just need to give them the glassware back.
No,
He
you.
did- I didn't bring
we
glasses. I
essentially-
just brought the bottle.
We essentially bought it, and when you buy things like that, generally come with, you bought the bottle, you bought everything.
Okay, and he's just gonna set it down on a table. I also brought the rest of the biscuits.
That was a good call.
You are the man, and I'm gonna get a biscuit.
To give y'all a heads up, if Ziploc baggies were invented, Keggmoth would probably have them to put leftovers in to take home with him.
We'll get him some lamb skin or something.
Just a whole bunch of wax paper.
Yeah. All right. So are we gonna go investigate the Northern Fields area or what?
Was it Northern Fields or was it the Wells District?
Quick
Out
question.
of character, or go ahead.
With that well that my patron mentioned, do I know approximate? Is that where this waypoint is right here?
Oh no, that's cafe.
That's
That's
the pop.
cafe.
That's the pop and cap. What's the one by the water?
That's the Flat Lake Wet Market, or the food library, as you like to call it.
The food library.
I work at a store called the Food Library.
Well, the wet market is a bunch of stores, so maybe the food library's in there.
I have 2 part-time
But it's in
jobs.
Orcish, so no one knows what it actually says.
Everybody
Okay, so yeah, you would know the Well District is,
south
you know,
of
it's
us.
right here. It's the largest district.
Oh,
I mean,
Wait.
the Northfields got mentioned and the Well District got mentioned, so
I thought he was
that-
talking about a literal well.
that's
Oh no,
me,
there is a literal well.
that's
Okay.
me. That's Hewitt saying I heard the Northern Farms in the Well District.
Isn't the brewers are in the Northern Fields, right?
Yeah, the brewery is in the northern field.
So that's
Uh,
why we would go there, is because he feels like there's something going on there. And I was thinking maybe we could get Keggmoth a job. One of the warehouses.
Technically, I have 3 right now, but
You could always use a 4th.
shipment's not coming. Yeah, I could. Shipment's not coming in for like another 3 days. I have bills.
Bills suck.
Okay, so what's the consensus?
Keggmoth will go wherever the rest of the group wants to go because he's not sure what we're really supposed to go do.
I am fine with going to Northern Fields, but if it would be easier to go onto the Will District, he's not going to fight it too hard. He's just eager to get out and ask around. And I'll say as much to the rest of the crew.
I'm fine
At
with
some
this.
point, I need to go to the well district, but I think we're good for now. That I believe that's where our lead was, but I'm good for wherever we need to go. We have time. And limitless boarding. And she'll gesture around the room.
Are we going to get more eggs?
I sure hope so. Those are good. And Ribbon will kind of lift his head up and do a little nod.
Out of character, I will live and die for this snake now already.
So yeah, we can go to the where Magnus wanted to go.
You seem to know where you're going. I'll follow you.
So I guess we'll follow Sarah. We're gonna let you take the lead. We got your back.
Was it the northern fields that you were saying we wanted to go to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one I suggested. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she'll start heading there.
Quick question. I know that the goblin and the rat folk are both really short, and you said Sarah is short.
Like, short on the normal human side of short, though. So, like, think like 5'5", 5'6", not like gnomish short.
Whoops.
So a very thin, short, but
Pez,
average, normal.
Yeah,
people.
more average. Keggmoth is going
Sarah-
to
Is she a dwarf?
punch. What? Oh, we got a brewery.
Pez is extraordinarily tall for a rat folk.
Paul is Pez again.
4'1".
Keg is going to hunch a little bit to not stand out as much in the group as we're walking.
How tall is Keggmoth actually?
6'6".
Yeah, he's a very tall boy.
I was
He
thinking
is
just like a little over 6, but okay.
no. Keg is 6'6". He is literally 1 inch shorter than his father.
But what kind of weapons do everyone have?
Short sword, dagger, and longbow with arrows.
Was
I
that in
have-
character or out of character? Because that matters.
He's looking like if Pez looks at you, what weapons do you have that he can see?
You see a harvesting sickle on one side and what looks like maybe a flute on the other.
You see his staff. It's a pretty basic looking. Looks like he probably made it himself. Except on the end, it does have like a high quality blue crystal with this kind of energy going around inside of it.
I'm just
And he-
enjoying how modern this brewery is we're going to. This is about to be be fucking baller.
Oh yeah. So anyway, so what we're gonna do now is take a short break. Then we'll come back and we'll do the going into the brewery. Does that
Yeah.
sound good to everyone?
Cool. Yep. All right. Throwing us on waiting.
Sweet. We
All right, we're back. Look at this. We are at the pub, the Garrett and Bragg Brewery. Bam. Anyway,
The DM is dead. He takes like 85
Yeah.
psychic damage.
yeah. I'm having a stroke. No, kidding. So as you
that does run in the family. So
thanks, Nate. I needed that.
you're welcome.
I'm
Like,
not
just
I'm
come
not-
in
I'm
here
not gonna
with
say
your
the really
fucking.
weird thought I had. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
We already had one, so we don't need another. Okay, so you fucking threw me off, Nate. As you're heading up to the brewery, you see a large facility with silos just next to each other. And you see a large gathering of folks, and you see what look like Stout Guards creating a line between the brewery and the folks protesting. And
What was
Magnus.
is everything
What's up?
okay? I heard it sounded like a burp over a gargled microphone.
Maybe me. I don't know.
What was that, Moose?
I don't think it was, but it may have been.
I don't know. I didn't burp, so
I'm gonna be on the lookout for you know what. That's why I'll
Okay.
walk around.
Are you on the lookout
Uh,
for weed?
No.
all of y'all one sec. My dog's complaining about going out, so I'm gonna let him out real quick.
that's fun.
Quickly, while the dog is being let out, let's strategize.
All right, let's burn this bitch down.
Strike, strike, strike.
The whole town's already on that. We could join them.
Can we just go full socialist? Like,
Eat the rich.
we can just do that. We'll just
I've already been accused of that at work this week.
We just watched the movie similar to that.
Yes, we did.
Like legit, I got told I was going socialist for saying maybe we don't need to defund Social Security for people who have paid into it their entire lives.
Well, see, you made the number one faux pas, which is Social Security has the word social in it, so obviously you're a socialist.
But you have to
Okay, I'm sorry about
understand,
that.
to be a good American, you have to hate the poor
Yes.
and make their lives as miserable as you can. I'm sorry, Chris. Go right ahead. I'm sorry, Bill.
Chris,
Go ahead.
while you were gone, we started talking about socialism.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah!
we
Power to
decided
the
we'll
workers.
bring in Karl Marx to Redwell, so be ready.
Karl Marx exists in this world. He is a avian folk.
I thought you were about to say he was like a patron or something.
He can be that too.
Karl Marx, patron of the proletariat. No, I'm on a serious note. I'm teaching the Red Scare and the Russian Revolution right now, and I have to explain what socialism, communism, and capitalism are. And I've had 3 parents voice concern that I taught their children about socialism, and I'm trying not to laugh.
It's a civics course about
I'm teaching
government.
I'm teaching world history, and like I have to teach about the Russian Revolution because that shaped a huge chunk of the last century.
Yeah. But anyway,
you shouldn't be teaching my child about socialism.
Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Most of y'all can't really make heads or tails aside from what you're looking at. Magnus. Oh my god. Viva la okay, Keggmoth. Magnus, you notice a couple of people in the crowd that look a little bit off. Like they're not guards, but they're a little bit too well equipped. Like obviously they're kind of hiding it, but like your keen eye was able to pick them out.
I'm gonna say in Goblin to Pez, since he already knew that. He knows Goblin. I'm gonna point out each person who looks a little suspect and try to get him to confirm it, because I feel like he's got a sharp eye like I do.
Yeah,
you're able to point them out.
Do they look suspicious?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious now.
What you notice is that, like I said, they don't look like workers in the sense that like they're wearing cloaks and everything, and they're kind of wearing things strategically to kind of hide what they have on. But you can tell, like, once you actually get their eyes on them, that they're like wearing like road leathers. They have weapons. Most of the people that are at the protest, they're not really carrying weapons, or if they are, it's more like farm equipment. These people are like carrying actual swords and shit.
Okay. These are soldiers.
Soldiers, mercenaries, could
And
be
they're
anything.
They're definitely fighting men.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
happen to be the 6th day of the first month of the year, would it?
Oh god, I got that.
I'm sorry, continue.
I missed out on this. What?
Don't worry about it.
Claire, private message.
Okay.
So, as you move through the crowd, you see behind the line, you do see people going into the brewery, but they do not look like the people outside. They actually have these large sacks and as you get closer, you smell like a grassy, earthy kind of almost
Okay.
sour smell.
Before we go any closer, I'm gonna stomp everybody, and I'm gonna say, "So how are we playing this, guys? Are we gonna admit who we are, or what?"
Probably not with this many here. Also, DM, can I use herbalism lore to see if I recognize that smell? Or what it might be?
Let me see what that skill does. It's a lore, recall knowledge. I think it. Okay.
Like, see if I know it, like I've smelled it or studied it or read up on it to know what it would smell like, and therefore what it is.
You know it right away as hops.
Okay. Of the violet variety, potentially?
You can't. You don't know. You know it's particularly potent with it wafting over here, but you like the bags are closed, so you
Mhm.
don't. You can't really see what they're carrying, like in
Okay.
terms of that.
So just kind of keep an eye out on, like, see if one of them opens or something.
Oh yeah. You do notice as they're coming back, they're actually they're not dropping off the bags. They actually seem kind of upset, and many of them are walking out with the bags as well.
Yeah, I don't know if we really need to go too much into our operations with this many angry people around. Maybe this needs to be more of a look and figure out situation.
How do we want to play it then? I
Well,
just want
Pez,
us
you're
all to
pretty
be
good
on.
with people.
What now?
I was saying Pez seems like he's pretty good with people, so maybe
We'll let Pez take the lead. I'm fine with that.
Oh,
Do I need to kidnap
You
one
just-
of them?
you just stand there, look pretty. Oh, you're doing a great job already. We'll wait for the kidnapping until one of
guys,
us
they
says
seem like they've noticed us. We need to make a decision quick.
we're gonna sell them stuff. We're just gonna sell them stuff. Get info.
I
Who
left
is
most of my good stuff in the room.
I have all of these, and I'll pull out like 7 rings,
What is it with you and rings?
and some of them are necklaces.
Okay. Keggmoth, what do your tall eyes see?
people? More people
And what are those people doing?
being angry.
Yeah, you don't see much of anything.
Is
As
it-
you scan the area, you see people throwing some shit at the Stout Guard. You see.
Is it bad I knew the DM's secret roll for my perception was going to be garbage based off of my previous perception rolls in other games?
If we do,
I mean, that one looks super angry over there. Oh, that one brought a kid. That's not a good idea at all. Like, what if Stout Guard showed? What if? No, that is child. Why would you bring child here? Stout Guard might do things. That's a bad idea.
Sarah's 100% gonna start up her read the air cantrip ritual to try to figure out like the demeanor and situation of everybody going on right now.
Okay, looking up reach the air. Because I'm very new to this as well. And yeah. As part of casting spell, you recall knowledge using society to gain information in immediate social situation. You also gain +1 to diplomacy and make an impression. To make an impression, my
Yeah, it's mostly to see if she can get a better reading on like the groups that are present, who's divided where, and for the people who've noticed us, who they may be based on other knowledge and body language and things like that going on, social clues. Like, are people kind of shying away from like the regular people, that type of thing.
Okay, so what you notice initially is that most of the people protesting aren't really paying attention to the people. I mean, everyone's mad. There's some tension here. y'all are kind of like off to the side a bit because you don't really want to get too far into the group, like into the middle of the protest. And you notice that as soon as those guys start to notice that y'all notice, like as if their cover's blown, they kind of like start backing up a little bit and stopping, but they still seem to be keeping an eye on you. The Stout Guard again are just worried about the protest that's happening.
And it's the ones
Uh.
with the bags that have noticed us, right?
The ones with the bags, they seem to be walking off.
Oh, so the ones
Yeah.
that have noticed us then are the well-armed ones.
Yeah.
'Kay.
The people with the bags, with the hops bags, it looks like they were trying to drop something off, but weren't unable to, so they're
Okay.
just fucking off.
Okay, wait. Were
So-
people with the hops kind of like scabs trying to get through the strikers line to drop stuff off to the factory?
Okay, with your knowledge of the area, Keggmoth, you know that while the fields are mostly grain, like the northern fields are mostly where they grow all the wheat and everything, or any sort of grain they need for the beer. They actually have people that go out into the woods to find wild hops. So there's like wild hops plants all in the forest surrounding. And if you know anything about hops, hops is a very invasive species. So it's not hard to like find hops in the woods. Although only the best hops collectors can really,
You mean the best hopsologists?
the best hopsologists can find the best.
Oddly enough, a
Hmm.
lot of those hopsologists that are really good at this are bunny folk.
But yeah,
So
you know that I just got that. I hate you, Hewitt. Anyway, you know that the way it works is more by commission. They're not actually, these people aren't hired by the company.
They're
They
like
ju-
us. They're contract.
Not even really contract. It's more like them. They get paid for every pound of hops they bring in.
almost
So
like a
they get-
bounty system for hops. Like one
Yeah.
bag, you get this
Cool,
much.
cool.
Cool.
DM with my hefty hauler feat, which increases my encumbrance bulk by 2. Would that allow me to pick up and carry, like on a shoulder, a smaller party member without incurring some type of negative?
You know, we'll keep it simple today, and I'll say yeah,
We'll look.
because you're fairly strong and like your party's fairly short.
We'll look at the 2 smallest members of the party. Would either of you like upsies so you can see better?
I'll look at Pez. You want to, or I'll do it.
Oh, are you very good at balancing?
I am okay at it. Yes.
No, not you.
I think I'm all right. I'm not like the best, but I'm not the worst.
I'm pretty. That's kind of my thing, I guess.
I mean, if you were able to walk around our city, you would have to have good balance.
This place is very unlevel and the road is paved poorly. Yes.
Sure. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
I'll do.
Just roll a d20, both of you, and whoever gets higher.
Okay. Paper. Oh, scissors. Dang.
Did they get cut off laughing?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Well, Keggmoth will put Magnus on his shoulders so he can see better.
And while I'm up there, I'm actually going to try to see if I can notice who the armed men kind of have a leader or like what they're really focusing on. I'm really going to intently watch the armed men.
So let's see.
Yeah, looking for the boss.
That's a seek. So many taps. Okay, so what you notice is you're not seeing like a boss per se, but you are picking out 3 individual people that seem to be completely out. Like
I'm
completely out of the ordinary.
I'm gonna let Pez below know and kind of describe the 3 and let him decide who he wants to approach.
Whatever one was in the middle.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the middle of the crowd and kind of
Just
or go to the middle guy.
yeah. But I'm walking like I'll look at Sarah and say, "Would you like to come with?"
Sure, I think that would be advantageous.
And then I walk. My chest is out, and it's very ridiculous, but also like people are probably like, that guy's.
Yeah, as you're walking past, like people, you're kind of bumping into people, but like they're like, "What the fuck?" And
Dude,
you just
all right,
walk up to
nice
this.
scarf.
Yeah, you just walk up to this taller guy. He kind of has a cloak over, and he's looking at you, and he's like kind of perplexed as he's looking at you.
Hello, are you the one in charge, sir?
And you're going up to just one of the armed people, right?
The one in the middle of that I was told about.
Okay.
Who kind of looked like he was in charge, right?
I mean, you couldn't tell between the
If-
3.
If
But-
I see the 3 of them, whichever one looks dressed fancier.
Okay. He's like, "What?
You in charge of all this?
Oh, the protest?
Yeah.
No.
No, the opposite.
The the stout? No, I'm not with the Stout Guard. I'm just here to see the protest." Kind of like darts his eyes back and forth. It seems to be he's looking at his 2 buddies.
Well, you sure seem to have brought a lot of protection just to be standing back and watching. And she'll
He-
kind of pointedly eye the different weaponry or armor that he may have.
It's dangerous. Y'all are carrying a lot of equipment yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to what I'm doing, and he's gonna kind of try to nudge away from y'all.
Oh, I
How-
actually had one other question.
How far away from me and Magnus is this boy?
Which one? The
The one they're talking to.
about 30 feet or so. Like, but it's in the crowd, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, okay. Never
Actually,
mind.
I have one other question. Since you've been watching it, maybe you've seen someone. That's why I was approaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen me, but darker, little splotches of white, older?
Okay. Give me 1 sec. I have to check something. Quick, y'all be entertaining for stream. I have to do DM things.
Okay.
Why did we both do the same song?
I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Here they are standing in a row. Bum, bum,
Bum,
bum.
bum, bum.
Big ones, small ones, some as
Some
big as your
as big as your
head.
head.
And that's
My
all.
cat does not approve of your singing voice. He just looked up at me like, "What the fuck is that?"
To be
That's
fair,
what Belly does every time I try to sing.
to
Just
be
like, Mom,
fair,
no, please.
my child has put his hand on my mouth and goes, "Daddy, this is not your skill."
You know what? At least your child is like upfront. You know what I mean? Like
Oh no,
he's not gonna be a bullshitter. That's
no.
good.
The thing I love about my child is 100% me, but super condensed because he's smaller.
So
One
it's more
time I-
concentrated.
Yeah,
One
it's.
time-
Go ahead,
Okay.
Moose.
Oh my god.
Go ahead,
Holy
Moose. Go
shit.
ahead, Moose.
One time I asked my nephew if he thought I was handsome, and he responded with, "Ew, no."
Ew.
Yeah, kids
I
are
think
pretty
you killed
brutal.
Hewitt.
Okay.
Oh God,
so,
Moose! You just made me shoot whiskey and coke out my nose.
whose fault is that?
Moose's.
It's your fault.
Oh God, it burns.
Anyway, as he's recovering,
I'm sorry, Buddha. What did I do?
Okay, so
Shit.
Go for it, Danny.
Are you okay?
yeah, like Hewitt.
I'm fine. It's just literally I
Okay,
had whiskey.
well, mute your mic while you're choking to death.
Okay.
Anyway, Pez, he sits there for a second and looks at you, and then his eyes go a little bit wider as like there's a bit of recognition. And then he pulls out a knife and tries to stab you with it.
Oh, that escalated.
Can I do anything?
Well, 1 second. However, you definitely move out the way. Is there anything you can do as a reaction?
Nah, not yet. Hold on, let me check this real quick. I'm gonna say no. I don't think I can yet.
Yeah, because I know the swashbucklers have a lot of things they can do. Like they can, yeah. So he goes and tries to stab at you, and then he drops the knife and starts to run away.
Okay, dude, action time.
We can do some action if y'all want. Y'all ready?
Take a foot.
Yeah.
Take
I
a
would
foot
like to
instantly.
use.
What do we need to do?
Can I do a cantrip real quick, or do I need to wait?
Let's first.
Let's first what?
Okay, so let's first.
Are we doing initiative?
Yes, doing initiative.
Okay. Remind me how that is done with this. Is it
Yeah,
Oh,
just
it's
a
the
thing
same
like-
as D&D. It's
Okay.
A D20 plus your dex.
I was trying to see if there's like a button to press for it, but it doesn't seem
got it.
like it.
Um,
A 4.
I'll just manually.
I got a
roll it.
5 with a nat 1. What the fuck?
good job.
See, here's the thing that's going to be hard for me, everybody that's playing this. Hewitt is going to curse, because he does. Keggmoth, on the other hand, doesn't.
Trying to remember how to add y'all to turn order.
We need to draw... Okay, do we have a battle map, DM?
I have a battle map up. What's up?
If you drop...
That y'all can't see, yeah.
I was going to say, if you move us to the battle map, or whatever you decide to do, drop us on the battle map and then click our tokens, and then... Or put add to turn order and then put our number in there. Because if we were to click our... If we could click our tokens on map when we rolled, it would automatically put us into the order, and you just have to reorder us.
Okay.
Yay, roll 20.
I legit don't see where we roll initiative though. Like I don't see it on my sheet at all.
Just click on the dice on the left-hand side.
That's what I did. It's just you're saying in order to get in the turn order, we click initiative, but I genuinely don't see initiative.
Hold on. Let me actually.
And I just have to roll it regularly.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
Which
look
is
at my.
fine,
Let me
but-
look at my character sheet. Oh, this
Like I
is,
can't find it at all.
This is
I don't see it
bullshit.
at all.
I am with Grave
Yeah.
now. Fuck this character sheet. it might be that I met Jesus while my nose was burning on fire, but right now I just don't have patience for this.
Yeah, so I just looked on my other sheet and just rolled it manually. And Pez does beat me if we're doing the tie with the dexterity.
It doesn't come into effect, but I think if Keg and I, or sorry, if Pez and Keg roll the same on Dex, I think we have to have a roll off because we both have 4.
Yeah, y'all probably would.
But you know what? I will always defer to the fancy mouse.
he is pretty fancy.
He is. That mustache is choice. Oh. I smell Kentucky.
Whose fault is that?
Moose. He made me laugh.
No laughing.
Ugh. Now I smell Kentucky and regret, so that means I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah, bear with me here. Damn it, that's still up.
But I don't. Do you need to move us to the battle map for us to show up in the turn order, DM?
I got you on the turn order now.
The turn order is blank for me. Is it blank for anybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
I think it's because we're not on the map, DM.
I think it's because you might be on a different map than we are.
Yeah,
so
I
the
am
turn
on a
order
different
on
map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that other map's turn order is the one you have up. Our map's turn order is blank.
Our turn
Okay,
order.
Magnus, what did you get?
It looks like a 2.
Can we remove it, or else I'm just gonna do this?
Magnus got a 2.
Uh-oh.
What?
What did Pez get?
A 14.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't have a battle map for this specific area. I wasn't expecting y'all to I wasn't expecting that to happen, even though I did initiate it.
Well, we don't have to be on the battle map. It's just whatever map you put the initiative in on needs to be the map that
Okay.
we're on,
Yeah,
regardless
yeah,
of wherever it is.
But
Yeah.
if I put y'all on the map I'm in, it might be a bit spoilery. So
Well, why don't you just click back on our map, DM, and throw our order in here, and if we switch to maps, you can just manually put it back in because we can remember our roles. And this is just the editor perspective over here, going the black like 3-inch rectangle.
Yeah. So we just need you to hop back to this map for a second and put
Oh,
it in,
sorry.
and then we're good.
Hello, I cannot move my token.
okay.
Can't move mine either.
Now we have Werbs. Hey guys, let's all enjoy the fact that this boy looks like he's a janitor at Hogwarts, and he's mad about it.
I'd be mad about it too.
Dude, do you know how? Okay, one, Dumbledore sus, but if you work at Hogwarts, like you got like the best healthcare and everything else. Like you can be salty about it, but it's still a decent gig. I think most Americans would totally accept being called a squib to get the job at Hogwarts, which probably reveals a whole lot more problems in our employment and healthcare system. But I'll be right back.
Keggmoth, what's your
I had a total of a 5 with a nat 1 on the roll.
So you're not the worst in the turn order.
Yeah, I'm a 4.
So the crit fail does not on the roll doesn't do anything.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Cool.
it's something I'm going to look into because it looks like there might be more to initiative than initially thought. But we're gonna just be straightforward for today.
Cool,
We'll just
cool.
I'll
be right back.
Sarah,
I'm sorry.
what did you get?
14, but that was less than Pez with the tiebreaker. for the dex.
Wow.
Stop rolling good.
I'm not trying to. I'm not.
I'm gonna punch you in the dick next time I see you. I can't wait to show you the minis I got, man. Today, I traded
Well,
some.
no, I'm not going to. You just said you're going to punch me in the dick.
Oh, my bad. Fair enough. But I got some Boormen. Like,
I
You-
love me some Boorman.
yeah, they're pretty cool looking, and I got some weird goblins and like a little walker. I traded a bunch of and I got a bunch of skeletons and like Death Knights for Sigmar. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
it trades
Hating
always
a little
go
bit.
well.
I need to participate at some point in trades, but okay. So where did Hewitt go? Did he go off and
I
like?
think he went to get like a drink or something. Pretty sure.
Well, he's pretty low in the turn order, so we can get to him. So the first bandit is going to use all 3 of his actions to run.
Fuck. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen.
Doing what I want you to. I explicitly asked you not to.
Why did you do the thing I didn't want you to do? Because it's the thing I wanted to do. The second bandit, which is actually a lower level bandit, but yeah, doesn't matter. Uses all 3 actions and follows his friend. And then the third one does the same. So Pez, oh my gosh, I just made a fuck you, didn't I? Oopsie doopsie. Oh my god, I made oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Oh jeez. Beans.
What do you do?
Did you
Oh.
turn
What's happening?
into Morty from Rick and Morty? What are you doing?
Never say that again. I had a little mishap with the copy and paste. Everything's fine now. Everything's good. Don't worry about it.
What happened?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, they ran away. Pez, you're up.
They are still running them. They still
Yeah,
running them.
Oh, you're just gonna fucking book it after them?
Yes, and I'll also yell, thief.
Okay. So I'll let you use that as a free action just to yell thief and you go charging off.
Bum-ba-la-bum-ba-la-bum.
And then now we have Sarah, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm guessing all of them are now pretty damn far away, huh?
Yeah, they all use their 3 actions to stride. So they just booked it. And I'm assuming that's what our friend Pez did as well.
Actually, I wonder. Can I?
Well, technically we're on Sarah's turn.
Is there? Oh, I'm sorry. My turn passed already.
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
there?
unless there was something more you wanted to do besides just running, but
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna see if I could because I forgot about this.
Okay, what is it? Like, I mean,
It
first
I'm
game.
still trying to figure out mine too anyway, so that's totally fine.
is there a way that I can like run with my first action, but then my second action use to try to like slide under or over something that, or even like swing off of something to look super cool?
Yeah, we can try. Like, if you want to try and like use your athletics or acrobatics to, let's see if what
I want to
kind
try to gain some panache.
Okay. Now let me see the panache ability.
Oh, link it in the chat.
So you use to tumble
Panache.
through. You stride up to your speed during this movement. You can try to move through a space at enemy. Attempt an acrobatics check with the enemies.
But I can also just do something particularly daring, such as swinging from a chandelier or sliding down a drapery. So I want to try to like slide between someone's legs or something that's like
Yeah.
super freaking cool.
Okay, this is what I'll say. Do a what is it? The acrobatics check,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there. And we'll say that if you can, holy shit.
26.
Well, I made the DC relatively low, so you crit.
God.
Good job.
With that gains me 5 more feet. So I'll use my third action to run 30 feet instead of 20 feet.
So you were like, you saw them running and you just went straight into action, and you're like going and diving and just jumping over people, and then like you skid across the ground out of the crowd and you're just right behind them. Like, you could pretty much, like, if you had more actions, you could probably touch one of them, but
Okay.
like the
that gave me
dude
enough
that
time to
ran
do math.
away, he was like, "Oh fuck."
And
Jesus.
as I'm like right behind them, I'll start saying something along the lines to where only he can hear it. Something like, "You'll never stab a pancake and get away with it."
Okay, Sarah, it is now your turn.
Okay. So to make sure I did the math right, I'm assuming they've got the 25 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Okay. And the one that was right in front of us that took a swing is now 75 feet away because it's 25, 25, 25 because he used all, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was right next to me, I'm going to move one stride's worth of 25 feet, my regular movement. So he
Okay.
should now be 50 feet away, correct?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to cast Daze.
Ooh. What does he have to roll?
He has to roll a will save.
Okay, so you're doing the middle bandit?
I'm doing, yes, the one that took the swing at Pez specifically.
Okay, I don't think he passed. What's your save DC?
17.
No.
Did he critical fail?
Okay, he got a 4+6, so I don't think that's a
Damn.
crit.
All right.
I think it
So,
was close though. Let's see. No, I mean, it was low as fuck though. It was a 4.
he had a +6 on that?
Yeah, he had a +6.
Holy shit. These guys ain't no
This
fucking
is why
joke.
conditions are like really good. I mean, this guy's kind of he's a beefier creature than the rest, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for, was to get the critical fail, because then it would have also stunned him. But oh well. He takes 4 mental damage.
4 mental damage. Okay. So he
And
doesn't
she'll
get
kind of... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he doesn't get any conditions from it, or
No, if he crit failed, he would have, but nothing in this
okay.
case.
So you see him like as he's running, he's like, "Fuck," and a little bit of blood comes out of his nose.
And since it has a verbal component, she's just gonna kind of... It's got thematic and verbal. She'll have thrown her hand out and yelled "stop," like in kind of a commanding voice at him. And she'll also, as she's taking off, I'm guessing she could probably turn around and still see Magnus and Keggmoth, right?
Oh yeah, and they're we're gonna say you were 25 feet away. Now you're 50 feet away from them.
Okay, as she took off, it would be just quick, like, gesturing with her arm, like, this way to kind of gesture them to follow. But that's all for my
Okay.
turn.
I mean, that was pretty good. I like that. Okay, so Keggmoth, you see all this go down. You don't see exactly what went down, but you see the three guys running off. You see a little bit of like, what the fuck, like kind of the crowd reacting a bit, but it seems like there's still a lot going on with the protest itself, with the strike itself. It doesn't disturb it too much, but you do see the one half of your group running after this guy.
Okay. Keggmoth will say, Mr. Magnus, please hold on. I am about to start running.
I can do
Oh, yeah.
that.
Okay.
And then he will spend 2 actions moving to catch up with Sarah.
Okay.
So do I still have an action, DM?
You should still have an action
Can
because
can I see the guy that she just yelled at and did mental smackies to?
by the time you get there, you not only see him, but you see Pez like right like within like striking distance of him.
Hunt the prey.
Okay, so you're gonna
on that dude. I will use my last action to. Hold on, let me go to details.
actually, I think that's an environmental thing. You can't do it while you're in encounters.
Okay. So I got to do that outside of combat.
Wait, let me actually look it up. I don't want
to. It says concentration. You designate a single creature as your prey for the focus of your attacks against that creature. You must be able to see or hear the prey, or you must be tracking the prey during exploration. So I could be tracking it during exploration, or I think I can see and hear them. Therefore, I think I can declare that as an action as long as I maintain concentration on this.
Yeah, I'm reading up. I don't see anything immediately saying that you can't use it in combat. I mean, if it changes in the future, we can worry about it. But for now,
okay. Just looking at the first,
we'll let you do.
I'm just saying, looking at the first paragraph, I think I can use this as an action, or I can be tracking them during the exploration. Like as long as like someone tells me
okay.
their name.
I must have misread then.
Well, no, it's a or. It seems like there's 2 functions to this. You must be able to hear or see the prey, or you must be tracking them during exploration. Like
okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, I think that's pretty clear. Yeah. So
they'll grant a 2+2 circumstance bonus to perception and a +2 circumstance bonus to survival to track them or seek them. You also ignore the penalty for marking ranged attacks within your second range increment against the prey you're hunting. So I think, DM, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't receive a minus on my second attack against them if I'm using a bow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's all your actions.
Before we end, Mr. Magnus, I was not too rough running like that with you, right?
I'm good, buddy.
I just want to make sure, because
I'm gonna slightly pat your cheek. It's all good. Trying to make you a little uncomfortable.
You are succeeding.
Okay, Magnus. Why don't you?
How close am I to this guy?
I mean, at this point, it's about 50 feet.
50.
I thought it was 25 because what's his face ran twice.
Wouldn't it be? Why did I even pull that out? That wouldn't even make sense in this context. Okay, so you should be up 25 feet. Or wait, you were at least 50 feet up to the middle guy, right? Sarah?
Was yes, and then Keggmoth ran twice with Magnus on his shoulders to catch up to me, but not Pez.
Yeah. So they're just about right next to you. So wouldn't it be about 50 feet for them as well?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's so. Yeah, Nate, because Nate is on his shoulders.
Yeah, Nate,
Correct.
Magnus just got a free ride because Magnus weighs like 55 pounds.
Yeah, so the goblin is riding on the giant orc.
I am average height, sir, for an orc. I think. Keggmoth's not sure.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to intimidate him, and I'm just gonna use message to basically tell him, "Hey, you can't get away from us, and if you don't stop and speak with us for 10 minutes,
So that's going to be
it's gonna make things worse."
all three of your actions because that is. Let me check your spells. This is
Yeah,
Keggmoth.
yeah.
Okay.
Message is one action, but I assumed everything else would be.
Why are you looking? Keggmoth has one spell.
No, it's because I was on the wrong thing. Okay, so message is one action. So you're able to say that, and then you take another action to do a demoralize, and we'll see. Okay, you got you see him. So so you're trying let me see. Let me think. New game, who dis?
Do please excuse me if any of the burp I just let loose got caught on stream. I'm sorry.
So he's gonna have Frightened 2. Like, so the way that conditions work, they do stack. So and usually what happens is they go down, most of them go down each round, but he looks back and he like locks eyes with you.
Okay.
And he is on his turn, he's going to try something. Because he doesn't he's like he hears you. He thinks you're very serious, but he wants to take his chances getting away. Wow, where did all the uh-oh. Uh-oh, I deleted them.
Oh no.
Hold on. I'm so bad at this now. What did they all get? They got like 18, 16, and like 15 or some shit.
Was right.
Yeah, it was 18, 18, and 16. It was one of the regular ones was 18, one of the regular ones was 16, and then the blue one was 18.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, okay, there we go. That'll be fine. Okay, so Pez.
Yes, sir.
You're within stabbing distance of this guy. However, as he's turning around, you see he's pulling something out of his pocket, and he tosses it right in front of you. Can you give me a reflex save?
27. I'm rolling well.
God.
Hey, hey, everybody! Who's our hero? Pez.
So as he throws it down, you do it like a Dark Souls roll, and you roll into it, and the thing goes off behind you, and there's still like obscuring smoke behind you, but you're just like locked on him, and he's gonna spend the rest of his movement just run. Because Nathan, you are very successful, but he is also very scared right now.
Okay.
Okay.
No big deal. Let's move on.
Okay, so basically the other two are gonna kind of follow and disappear into the forest. Pez, what are you doing? You're like right behind this guy.
Can I grab him?
I believe you can.
I'm gonna try to, I guess, grapple him. Actually, can I, instead of grapple, can I try to trip him, like kick up his back foot while he's running?
Oh yeah, let's see. Give me an athletics check against the target's state. Okay, so give me an athletics check.
Athletics. Oh no. 5.
You could always
You
just
got
try
an
to
8.
trip him with your body. I'm sorry, bud. Go ahead.
I mean, the trip is one action. I believe you would get a penalty on your next try, but
I'll can I run past him, turn around with my weapon and tell him stop now and try to intimidate him so that
okay,
way
so
he's
you want to
stuck in
do
between our two intimidates?
okay, yeah. So you're able to run past him. Like he's able to block your trip. And let's see. Let me roll you. God. So you do this thing like as he's trying to head into the forest, you just mousy just jump, you hit a tree, you bounce off the tree, you get in front of him and you just pull out your what do you have, like a rapier?
Rapier.
And you just twist it around and put it at his neck. And you say whatever you want to say.
I guess I'll say, tell me where you saw him, or I'll shove this through you.
And he's just going to stop right there. That's going to be his action because he has a physical barrier, and he's also at Frightened 4.
Oh, wow. So Nate's plus mine freaking scared the crap out of this guy.
Yeah. Okay. Quick reveal: y'all both got natural 20s.
Huh? Oh,
Wow. Holy shit.
And every time you're gripped by fear and struggle to control your nerves, the frightened condition always includes a value. You take a status penalty equal to this value to all checks and DCs. So, like, he just barely passed with that -2 he had to his reflex save. Like, I mean, if he was frightened 4, you would have fucking tripped the shit out of him. Just to let you know how good conditions are in this game. But yeah, that's the reason why he ran away, Nate, is because he can't, when you're frightened, you really can't control your nerves in that sense. But I mean, you did help. Especially now.
It's all good.
Okay, so with that out of the way, these two this guy is here. These two have fucked off into the forest. It is now Sarah's turn.
So the one that Pez has, they were like, what, roughly 25 feet in front?
Yeah.
Because I'd gotten to 50, they'd gotten to 75, and then they started their next turn, and Pez stopped them.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it had that poof of smoke probably, so she'll have to go through that. So she'll use one action to move. So now she's up on them. And she'll go ahead and pull out that spiderweb handkerchief and cast Tanglefoot and throw it on the feet of the downed bandit.
Okay, so let me look at Tanglefoot real quick.
I have to do an attack, it appears. A spell attack. Let me get my dice up for that. Oh, I didn't mean to. Well, okay, we'll take that +4, so 15 for a spell attack.
Yep, you meet his AC.
All right. So
God,
that's
frightened is so fucking good. Holy shit.
that's a regular success. So it now has a negative 10-foot circumstance penalty for any speed attempt. So if it tried to run 3 times, it would get negative 10 each time, or it can use an action to attempt to escape.
What's that condition called?
Immobilized.
Okay. Wow. This guy's not having a fun time with this.
He should have just not run. We told him not to. It's his fault. Has told him clear as day.
He also tried to stab me.
He did try to
Yeah,
stab
he's kind
you.
of a dick.
He's kind of mean like that. Okay, Keggmoth,
Oh, and
what
at
would
the
you
end
like-
of her turn,
Oh, I'm
sorry,
sorry.
as a reaction, she's going to reach up and she'll just tap Ribbon once on his head, and he'll sort of phase out of existence. Like he's like now kind of a ghostly spectral on her head, because she just did the phase familiar reaction.
Okay.
So basically, he gains 5 resistance to all damage, and he's immune to any precision attempts to hit him specifically.
Okay. And Keggmoth, what would you like to do?
Okay, so she ran in that direction. Sarah ran in that direction.
Yeah.
First action move in that direction is the boy that I slapped with Hunt Prey.
Yeah, he is tangled up, he is frightened, and he has a rapier to his neck.
Do we need to follow the rest, or just this one is good?
One could probably give us what we need, but maybe Pez knows better.
Mr. Pez.
Okay, for the sake of
Well,
brevity,
I'm just going to ask Mr. Pez, do I need to go after them in the forest, or should I just take the luggage?
This one will do for now. Thank you, Keggmoth.
Mr. Magnus, please get down. I will carry our new friend to another location for conversation.
Okay. I'll hop down.
And
okay, so yeah, so we will.
Keggmoth will reach down. I am very sorry. This is a very odd situation. I am going to pick you up and carry you now. I will not harm you yet. But we will be going to another location. I cannot promise that my associates will not do this, will not harm you before I do. So I suggest that maybe you mind your P's and Q's and be very polite to the nice people that are with me.
Sure thing. He's just looking at Pez.
Okay, I don't need to add any additional for intimidation or anything there, DM. Not that my +0 to intimidation will do anything.
You're very intimidating. Don't let him tell you any different.
Like, Keggmoth is legit trying to be nice, but I feel like unintentionally there might be intimidation in his actions.
Okay, so y'all want to take him somewhere?
I will pick him up in a manner that makes it look like he is walking in front of me.
Okay.
Does that mess with my encumbrance because of my
Well, you're gonna be walking slower, but we're in exploration, so I mean it's not gonna be that big a deal.
I'm just saying hefty hauler.
Like, I mean, you're trying to direct someone. Are you like literally picking him up in front of you?
I'm picking him up with my hands underneath his arms. I don't know he's been tangle-footed.
You can see a spider web on his legs.
Oh, well, then I'm going to hold him up and make it look like he's walking by slightly jiggling him as we walk.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I mean, you're pretty strong, but also that's gonna get fatiguing.
That's going to get fatiguing
Like,
to just totem that. Well, I mean, how long does the spell last?
With the Tanglefoot?
I'm double checking. 1 round. So
Like-
within like probably by the time you got there and got him up, it probably would be fading away.
So, okay, in that case, I will help him up, and then I will walk right behind him.
Okay, so like, where were you trying to take him? Is my question. Because if you're like trying to take him like into downtown with him like propped up like a little baby,
How
then I
about
don't
just
know.
behind like a
Well,
thing of
yes,
crates so we
he
have
has
some
it-
more privacy?
He has his feet. He has his feet. She said he could walk.
Let's
Okay.
just dip around a corner so we're not carrying it or trying to lead this man for 30 minutes while he plans an escape. Let's just dip out of sight right quick and get this taken care of.
That'll be easy. You're like pretty much next to the a forested area, so
Did his friends walk into that forest area?
they did.
Well, they ran, to be fair.
Okay,
They
to
ran.
be fair, his friends ran into the forested area. Keg didn't see that, to be honest. This is
No,
you.
you probably you would have been focused on like the main group.
Just, I'm very sorry, but you are currently my prey.
Y'all ain't gonna eat me, are y'all?
Oh no!
Should I be worried?
No. I
I only eat kidneys. But you got 2 of those, so
He is lit. This one I cannot make promises for. I will not eat you. You're just my. It's really weird and predatory, like the skill set I have, but like right now I'm hyper focused on you, and like if you run, I will know where you go.
I'll tell you anything if you get me away from the blue man. Looking at Pez.
Well, I literally
Uh,
did. Look, the one. Look, Mister. He said he was going to eat you. I literally said I can just find you wherever you go and know where you sleep. Oh wow, that sounds bad when I say it out loud.
Yes, leave him alone because I need some information from him desperately, please.
Well, I'm not going to do anything to him. I'm just.
Well,
like, I
don't
was-
say that part.
I was just okay. If you want me, Miss, do you want me to do something to him, sir?
Not right now.
Okay, so until he tells me to, you are safe from me. Afterwards, I can make no promises, because if you run, I can find you. Keggmoth is saying this as deadpan as possible, not trying to intimidate or whatever.
and he'll eat your gallbladder.
No, I will not.
We call those the sweetmeats because they're so delicious.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. That is fiddlesticks? Wow. He is trying to take a wee with you. No, I will not eat you. I will just shoot you with a bow repeatedly.
Then eat your gallbladder. That's what orcs do.
That's
I've heard
racist.
that. I've heard that.
That is racist. That is like extremely racist. Wow.
All right. Now that we're in the woods and
Keggmoth is just gonna back off to another tree now, very concerned about what is being assumed about him.
Sarah's gonna take out just one of those little quote unquote tanglefoot bags and just kind of be tossing it up and down as like a threat, like don't even think about running. So, why did you take a swing at our friend here?
Where and
You're
where-
asking about the other rodent, huh?
Yes, that's correct.
He has a name. He is not rodent.
He was out here like with some of them Paladin guards. They were looking for something, but they got too close to our operations.
Do I know what that is? A Paladin guard?
They're the light beer police.
What you know about the Paladin guards is that they're a guild of artificers that they basically build infrastructure for Vimondale. They work with everyone. They're most known for the highways, the illuminated highways that form the trade routes in the entire area. But they also deal with ancient artifacts, and particularly they try to disable things that could be considered dangerous. Or they might be looking for artifacts that could help kind of progress things. Like ancient artifacts tend to be pretty like even if it's not like on the surface valuable, it's valuable to like from a scientific or like an industrial perspective.
Okay. Do you know where they went?
I don't know, they got an ambush somewhere in the forest. I hadn't heard about them for a little while. They were looking for some of us out there. I just don't.
Which forest?
He points. Well, he doesn't point. He just nods out, kind of like over there.
Okay.
I mean, good luck finding anything out there if you don't know where to look.
Well, looks like I have you as a guide. Also,
Well,
they
I
have
guess so.
they probably have questions for you too. Yeah, why'd you
Just like,
stab me?
Well, this other one killed a whole bunch of guys. I figure y'all run in the same crew.
Did you know his name?
I didn't catch his name.
Okay.
well, then why were you, aside from all of the rat folk talk, why were you at the protest so heavily armed? What could bandits want from a demonstration like that?
We saw a new group in town. We're just trying to check out what they're doing here.
What kind of new group?
He looks at y'all.
Well, us. Are we're the
You
new
know,
group?
it's not every day an eclectic little group of would-be adventurers come into this town.
We're here for a job, thank you very much.
Right. So you want me to lead you out into the woods to find what is it? Your friend?
My associate.
Your associate.
But we
Look,
have just point me in a direction, tell me where, because we have other stuff we have to do.
Well, and he may be able to help us with that other stuff if we ask him some more questions about what exactly is going on here.
Answer her questions.
a protest.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
why? What?
everything's going downhill. Gwendolyn Garrett's bought most of the town. And, when workers just start coming up dead and getting robbed on the streets and in the highways, you kind of get fed up with it, right? So people get upset.
Wait,
So
wait,
they're
what?
upset about criminals.
Hold on. Did he say workers are coming up dead?
Oh, yeah. If you haven't heard, multiple caravans have been attacked recently. But it's not just that. It's not just workers coming up dead. It's just the fact that Gwendolyn Garrett and to an extent the other asshole in the little mansion he has over there, Bragg, they've just been sucking this whole town dry. You go downtown, it looks kind of nice, but down in the row, I grew up in the row, It used to be pretty nice. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit going down over here.
Keg is going to go over and squat down next to Magnus and an orcish. Are we technically working for the bad guys?
Magnus.
Nate?
I didn't catch that.
No. Sorry. I will not say it low then. Keggmoth will come over to you and an orc say, "Are we technically working for the bad guys here?"
I mean, it's possible, but we should do more investigating. I reply also in Orcish.
All right. Well then, I only know Orcish in common. Who is? Okay, hold on. Where are Sarah and Pez with this
Probably
boy?
just standing on either side of this guy.
Okay.
Just,
Well,
we're all kind of in the same little area, probably.
Did we ever establish what languages Sarah speaks?
Besides common, Anati, Arboreal, Demonic, Elven, Mwangi, and Sylvan.
okay. So there's
Wow, elves don't even exist in this world.
I was actually going to get with
Really?
you on
'Cause
swapping two of
Because
them.
I speak Elven as well, so I have to change that.
I do too.
I figure we can just swap it to something appropriate.
DM for simplicity. Can they speak Orcish?
Yeah, actually Orcish, like, just so people know, like, the orcs are like savages or anything like that. They're
Who-
not like that.
What race
So-
would be like the one that has like a big trade city?
A big trade. Well, Moving Marshes has a trade city, to the east. The east and the Outer Wilds. You know that like a lot of former nomadic orcs and tieflings and such have settled there and made kind of an area for themselves. So it's like a lot of you would know as a nomad yourself, you would know that initially or a lot of that was settled by former nomads that kind of gave up that life.
Like, what? I guess what would be the next language besides Common that would be real like most spoken?
I would say Orcish, and let me get back to you on that.
Okay,
Because,
yeah.
Well, hold on. We're in Elshire in the eastern region of y'all's continent.
Yeah.
Orcish, maybe Gnomish, if I remember anything
Or
about.
halfling or dwarven.
Nate knows more, but I'm just trying to remember what I remember from the first time we started to play this.
Even though technically, like, there isn't a distinction between like our dwarf, human, and halfling. They're just kind of like the exile, and they kind of blend in and just have more exaggerated features depending. But mechanically, they can work like that. I mean, like Dwarvish and like Halfling and everything can be different dialects, but we'll go over that later.
Okay, the way you're making it sound, DM, is that Orcish, Halfling, and Human, or the human speaks your version of Common. It sounds like that those other ones might just be like different dialects, like the dwarf has a different accent, and they kind of
I
different.
said that.
I'm sorry. So it might be more like Australian English versus the Queen or the the King's English.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's something that I'm gonna have to look into because it's just a part of the system I forgot to think about.
Y'all acknowledge if any of our characters die, the DM just admitted that dwarves are Australian. So
okay.
We now acknowledge the dwarves are from a land down under.
Anyway, moving on.
So do we do or don't want to swap Elvish for Orcish in this case, if we had Elvish? Because we can swap it if you don't think Elvish would be, if Elvish doesn't exist and if you think that Orcish is worthwhile. Otherwise, we can revisit this later and just say no for now.
Orcish is worthwhile, I would say.
I'm just saying, if that's the case, we could all communicate in a second language too.
But remember, it is a popular language, so there is that. But not every. I mean, I would say that Orcish is less common where you're at now, but more common to the east where the outer wilderness is.
And if it's really just an offshoot of common human language anyway, then wouldn't most people probably understand it?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Like, if you speak, like, think of it more like a distinction between Spanish and Italian.
Or I was going to say Cajun French versus actual French, because most French speakers don't
Or
know
that,
what
yeah.
the fuck Cajuns are actually saying.
Anyway. So yeah, if you want to change it to Orcish, you can.
I'm gonna change my Elven to demonic. Is that okay? Or
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. Just making sure.
If that's the case, after Keg asks that, he will then kind of announce, does anyone else understand what I am saying?
Sarah will nod.
I'm not sure yet. For now,
Just
maybe.
if
You're focused on this guy.
Yeah, I don't.
Keg is just going to say, if he is saying that bad things are happening to workers and that the people who run this brewery are doing bad things, I just don't know if we're the bad
I'm gonna
things or
I'm
not.
gonna look at the man on the ground. I assume he's on the ground. I'm gonna look up to him. Is there anything else you want to tell us? I'm a very powerful wizard, and
I've seen it.
I'm going to cast a spell now to see if you know the truth. If you've been telling us the truth. I'm just gonna recite my grandmother's apple pie recipe in Draconic.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Keggmoth, oh wow. Wow, this is going to be bad. This is what he is casting it. That is going on for a long time. This is a bad spell.
And I can make him do it better, and she'll rub her hands together and put her hand on you and verbally speak in a naughty, but she will actually cast the guidance cantrip if that's okay, DM.
Oh no, this is a
Yeah.
tag team spell.
So there is a
Okay.
brief radiation of magic as she puts her hand on Magnus to kind of give him a boost and make him seem a little more magic-y.
Keg will continue to talk about how this is about to be an amazing spell in all honesty because he doesn't know what's happening.
Okay, so you recite the apple pie recipe, and oh my god. Okay. So, and he just looks, he's like, okay, yeah, so that's okay, yeah, I'm telling the truth, man. I swear. Like,
And as far as I can tell, he's telling the truth.
oh yeah, he's telling the truth.
All
As
right,
far as
I'm gonna say, Granny never lies, and I'm just gonna walk
Yeah.
away and not say anything.
Yeah. Sure.
That might be his god. People have terms of endearment for deities.
Sure. I don't know anything about goblin gods. I don't even know if they have gods. It doesn't matter. Kid,
Hey, Keg's just gonna sit down in front of him.
okay.
And then wait for somebody that knows what they're doing to talk more to this guy.
Last question. Do you know then of anybody opposing this person who's been coming in and buying up all this land? Is this person like actually a member of the government here, or is this just some wealthy person coming in and buying things up against the will of the local legislation?
Gwendolyn Garrett isn't technically part of the government. She just co-founded the brewery and has over the years bought several parts of it, of the town, that is.
There's a conscientious effort to try to end her influence, so to speak.
I mean, some people want to. I mean, there's a lot of people around here are just too damn poor, too damn tired, too damn worried about their own thing to really even try. So it is what it is. I make a buck, thieving, and shit just keeps going.
Very well.
Keggmoth will unfold some parchment from his package and hand it over. Yes, late stage capitalism. Do me a favor, please. Could you list the caravans that have been attacked in the last month or so? That you said that they have been attacked, or at least list where, or draw a map.
Like the only two roads out of town. And I don't know every caravan.
Well, I mean, you said they were attacked. The ones that were. I am sorry. I'm not trying to be overbearing here.
We're
I
trying
mean, I
to
don't
help.
know. Like, I don't keep up with that. I didn't initially work at the brewery or anything.
Could you point us in the direction? I'll write down the name of a person we could find that knows about the caravans that were attacked on the two roads. Because I mean, if you're out here doing like grumpy,
I have a question. I'm
You know
sorry.
what? I can direct you, and Nathan, I'll let you. Go. You know what? You could probably find a lot of information at the Smelly Forest Tavern.
Smelly Fart Tavern.
Smelly Forest Tavern.
Smelly
Not
Fart
Smelly
Tavern.
Fart.
Are the raids targeting anyone in particular? Like a particular company within the brewery, or is it all just the one company?
It's the company, the people that brew the beer. They're attacking the shipments, you know.
I wasn't sure if there was more than one. All right.
Oh no, this town is owned by one brewery. And it sucks. But you know, you get by. Mostly by stabbing people. Sorry about trying to stab you, by the way, Rat Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick his pockets and also take his weapons away from him.
The whole time we're talking, just freaking Pez is over here looting him.
So he has a short sword. He has a bow. He has about 13 silver. And he has a quiver of stuff. What else would he have? And he has just like a little pocket, not a pocket knife, but like, you know, a boot knife.
Boot knife.
Yeah, I'm gonna take all of that.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Well,
I enjoy that.
Let him please have his boot knife. He lives in a town that is shank or be shanked. Now he has no shank.
Yeah, well, that's because he tried to shank it, so I removed his shanking ability. He failed his first shank, so he clearly doesn't know how to use it.
Was this your first shank?
Nah, I've shanked a few people.
He failed the later shank, so I you know what? I retract my give it back to him.
Okay, so what would y'all like to do?
Any more questions at this time?
I'm ready to move on if y'all are.
Yes.
So he said the Smelly Forest Tavern. Before we leave, and he folds back up the parchment that nothing has been written on. Could you tell us what Smelly Forest Tavern is?
I'm hitting it on the map.
I cannot see it. Where is it?
Zoom it out.
The bottom right.
Okay.
Okay, that's because I'm having to do map stuff for the stream, guys. That's why I'm asking.
I was in the top corner too, so I didn't see it at first either. But as they're ready to go and let him go, she'll just kind of give the bandit like a sympathetic look and be like, "Here, for your troubles." And she'll put the ring, the silver sapphire ring in his hand and just kind of fold it and kind of give him a wink, like pretending the party doesn't see her do it, but the party probably sees her do it.
Keggmoth is gonna be like, I did not see you do anything. You are right for actions that I was not able to actually notice.
I don't
Yeah,
actually care what she does with her stuff, so we're good. I'm gonna run and pee real quick. I'll be right back.
Magnus says so.
Magnus just runs like 5 feet off. You just hear,
Yeah, I dropped Trowel like Butters from South Park. He just drops his pants and holds his
just
shirt up.
pulls
just right there.
Pulls his shirt
Oh my God.
up. It's
Why
just
do
a-
you drop your pants all the way down? Feels good, man.
Just a goblin tinkle. Oh god, episode 3 of the
Okay,
newest season of Critical Role is the same way.
Okay, so on that note, I think we're gonna cut it here anyway, because it is 10:30. Unless people want to keep going.
You know what? I could, but I actually think this is narratively a great spot to stop.
Smelly Forest Tavern.
Also, I've been keeping party notes if anybody needs to check stuff. I haven't gotten everything, but I'm getting what I can.
Hey, Moose, you want to know how you can say this name in another way?
What's your name? The Smelly Fart?
Smelly Forest Tavern is just Pine Fart Bar. Chris is gonna kill. Chris is gonna kill Keggmoth now intentionally.
Maybe we'll see.
He's a good boy, Chris.
But
Please
yeah,
do it.
like if we want to cut it here, we can. I mean, this would be a good stopping point.
I think it is.
Oh no, no one else is answering.
I'm fine with
I'm
it.
good with whatever. Yeah, it's whatever.
Ah. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so that is our first foray into Pathfinder. First real foray into Pathfinder. The first time we were kind of 5e brained. But I kind of enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Remember that any sort of donations that are going out right now, we are trying to donate to the Trevor Project, which is a charity / helpline for trans teens. They could really use some help right now with everything that's been going on. So if you have any extra money, go ahead and throw it their way. Hewitt, what is going on next week?
Oh wait, M's not here, so I gotta do the socials and the schedule. Okay. So tomorrow we will be doing a round of toolkits, which I'll be painting minis again. If anybody wants to join in just to hang out while they're doing something, or just hang out while I try to paint zombies and chat, I would appreciate it. We might change up the format because I thought maybe we should start asking everybody what is their specialty, and have them be the other main host than me in a show. Like, you're painting minis, I'm painting minis, and we talk about painting minis. Or like if with Spence with the foam craft, you know what I mean? Like, try to add some education. Next week we'll be back with Holy Winds. Everybody had a huge revelation and got some power boosts. We'll talk with each of the players between now and then. Yeah, what is that, Moose?
From Jesus.
Yeah, y'all you met Elf Jesus. No, it's more like you met Elf God. So
Okay, just to be clear, are y'all letting the bandit go, or what are y'all doing with him?
oh no,
we were letting him go.
we
Yeah.
totally left him tied to a tree and said, "Good luck, noob."
Yeah. No, I wanted to leave him. That's what I wanted to do.
We never even tied him up in the first place, y'all. He actually was just standing there with us.
Keggmoth is down with Sarah to just let this guy go. He is just a disgruntled worker.
And he actually stopped to talk to us, so good enough for me.
We all shared a Werther's before we left.
Well, to be fair, he was like, "Oh shit, a rat folk here." That other rat folk fucked shit up with some paling guards.
And he told you about the other rat folk, whereas he might not have had to have done that. So he did actually help you out. He could have just said "fuck you" and not said anything.
Anyway, back to schedule. So Monday we'll be back with Holy Winds. Thursday we should be back with Tears of Kairos. I don't know if we're going to have a game night in there in between. Then we'll be back the Sunday after that with our video game twists that were very important to you. And then the one that'll be a little bit old news by the time we do it, but I really don't think it'll be super old news, is the first Sunday in February. We are going to talk about the OGL orc / whatever the fuck WotC decided January was. So we will all give our opinions on that, and I think we all got a hot take. So there's that. Let me throw this out there here before I go over socials. Is anyone down to play Ghost Game in the next week or so?
I am, but I'm also up for you playing Dark Souls again because that was funny.
There's
And
a good chance I will do that at any random point when we decide not to stream.
Okay, yeah.
Thick booty Freddy Cougar is gonna go out and handle things. Claire, my character's name is Dumpy McThick.
Wow.
Yeah, he did pretty good in it. But anyway, we should be ending.
Okay, socials. If you go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we are Team Bonus Action. If you go on to the Twitter, we are at bonus_team. All that's kind of great, but you could also go to our absolutely wonderful website created by our very own Freki of teambonusaction.com and watch VODs and get more information about us. Plus, see game shops and other streams and such that we are friends with that we share the links of. So if you would like to do that, please do. And once more, to reiterate what our great DM threw out there, if you can donate right now between now and March, all proceeds will go to the Trevor Project, and they need it. Please give it, because sometimes people have shitty parents that don't understand things. So please help some folks also find homes and get the therapy that they need. So that's me. I guess since Knox is not here,
I'll let you meatloaf.
don't let you. Oh, wait, hold on. Are we that far?
I'll
Hold
let
on,
you
listen.
meat.
Don't let your meatloaf.
I'll let you meatloaf.
Oh,
Don't
let
let
your
your
meatloaf.
meatloaf. Don't let your meatloaf. That was bad.